Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. How is everybody this fine Woo Wednesday? Back to our regular 6 p.m. scheduled time. How is everybody? Sorry about last Friday. Yeah, I had a headache that just developed into a migraine, and I thought, I'm going to take the night off. I at first actually pushed it back to 6, and by then I was just mentally in my head, not in a good place because it hurt so bad. How is everybody? It's weird. Like, I think I don't even know how many live streams I started because it says you're live. And I did all my whole introduction, and then it doesn't record like the first 10 to 15 to 20 seconds of what I said. I don't know. So I'll start over. Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot. And again, sorry. I was not here Friday. I had a migraine, headache that developed into a migraine. And I initially pushed the live stream back to 6 p.m. But no, my head hurt too much. So I feel like when Pam on The Office would put like, oh, Michael, so-and-so on line 1, and he'd say something. And she goes, I always like to give him a practice run because he always does much better the second time. Probably the same for me. Funny. How is everybody? Happy birthday, Brandy Lynn. Happy almost birthday tomorrow, America. I don't even know how many years it is. A bit. Over 200 at this point, right? Yes, for sure. Like 250? How many years old? I don't even know. But it's weird because this was a while back, I tuned into the energy of the 4th of July, Independence Day, the signing of the Declaration of Independence. I kept hearing, but are we? Like, as far as independent, but are we? But were we? I think on paper, there are other countries that are still very much under the rule of the crown, but it's almost like what happened with America and their break from England was like an under the table hush hush, like, we'll let you think you won, but actually you're still under our control. Like, that's the vibe I get. I don't know if it's exactly like that, but that's like the vibe I get. I don't know why. I've always thought that, like, even especially like more lately in the last probably 8 years for sure. Hello, everybody. We got a couple people here. Hello, Marlene. Hello, Brandy Lynn. Yes, Banana NS is here. Jessica Lynn. Welcome. So yeah, because we did not meet up on Friday last week because of my migraine, I figured we would still honor that one card pull just to see what we can expect for the Saturn retrograde. And let me tell you, not that Saturn retrograde for me feels bad in any way because I have a natal Saturn retrograde. So for me, it feels like home. It really does. But a lot of times for me, now that Saturn is actually retrograde in my 5th house, which is your children and your creativity and all these things, the 5th house being children for me, I actually had taken the screens away from my kids. We started, we'll just pull back to 1 hour, and that was going great, except I was getting pushed back from both of them. Oh, just 1 more minute. Oh, I can't pause this game just so this game's over. And, an hour turned into an hour and a half, turned into, I'm not doing this anymore. I want my kids back because both of them were really starting to struggle and had been for a while with just impulse control. And it's interesting because I was reading this book, Glow Kids, by Nicholas Kardaras, I think, Dr. Nicholas Kardaras. And you don't even have to get the book. I got the book from my library. But just watching some of his interviews here on YouTube, eye-opening and just actually really scary. Like, I had a oh my God, what have I done moment as a mom. Had a lot of those in my day, but like, it's like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And, once you know better, you do better. So that's what I'm trying to do. No shade to anybody who uses screens. I mean, everybody uses screens. It's the world we live in. It's just, it happens, right? It's about using less of them, at least where I'm concerned. But we're kind of doing screen-free summer as of last week, screen-free summer. And let me just report back. Those first few days to up about day 5 were really difficult because they just were not used to having, time to do anything. Or, it'd be bedtime when they knew screens were done for or like about that half hour or so before bed. And they would just try to cram in everything they wanted to do, like jump on the trampoline, play basketball, hang out and throw toys for the dogs, get their homework done. All the things, well, usually the homework would have to be done before the screens anyway, but all those other things that, kids like to do, play Legos, all the things. They'd try to cram it into that half hour before bed, and then they'd get real cranky that, I didn't get time to do this, I didn't get time to do that. I'm like, you had the time, you just chose to do the screen. And now I took that choice away. Bad mommy. But my kids, I'm not saying my kids were bad kids by any stretch. I think I have really great kids for, the circumstance, but they're even better kids now. Like something flipped, and it's like they want to go places with me again. They want to hang out with me again. They want to help. Like they just randomly get up and help me, especially my oldest, which he would kind of like, oh, you got to do the dishwasher before you do this, before you do that. And, he'd disappear in a room with his phone. And like 20 minutes later, like, where'd Boss go? And you'd go find him in his room, laying on his bed, scrolling on his phone. Now that that's not an option, he's actually has time in his day to actually want to help. And we've been playing a lot of games, board games and card games and that kind of thing. And we were in Target today kind of perusing the game section. And there's this game called Root. I didn't buy it because I'm like $61, I think it was like $61.99 or something like that, which is a bit pricey for a board game if you ask me. I mean, I've been out of the board game market. We've kind of had the same ones for a long time. And then when my grandma passed away, I got a lot of the ones that we used to play when I was a kid, which my kids have really loved and enjoyed. But I'm like low-key obsessed with this game. Even though I didn't buy it, I'm kind of on also being more conscious about where I'm just throwing money around to. Not that I did a lot of that anyway, but just being even more because we're decluttering, we're purging, we're cleaning things up around here. And now that I'm making all this space in my home by getting rid of a lot of things, do I just want to turn right back around, spend all this money and fill it back up? I don't want to do that. But it looks so cool. And Brandy Lynn, I think this would be right up your alley as well. I don't know. I have a vibe about it, or an intuition about it. The Root game. I never heard of it until I saw it today in Target, but it's funny because I was in Target trying to see price matching on Amazon or other, and it really wouldn't let me load any other website. But then I went to Target.com. Well, it was $60.99. Yeah, $60.99, not $61.99. So $60.99 in the store, but on Target.com it was $52.99, and I was like, wait a second. So I thought about ordering it in-store pickup and just kind of hanging out in Target until that time came where they're like, oh, your order's ready. But I didn't. I'm like, no, let me just kind of sleep on this and see how I feel. But I've been thinking about all day. So it's called Root. And it's like a strategy game. And I guess it's a bit cutthroat, but not like in a murderous kind of way, like bad. Yeah, root, like root chakra or root vegetable. It says a game of woodland might and right. And it's like full-on strategy game, which I love me a strategy game. I get roped into like Civilization 2 way back in the day, like we're talking late 90s, early 2000s. I used to play this game called Civilization, and it was like the second iteration of it, Civilization 2, and it was so fun. And then there's that board game Risk. I love. Oh, do they price match at the register? Well, I should. The thing is, there may be. I didn't see any. They changed them all to self-checkout. So I would have to probably like raise my hand like, I need help. Like The Sims. Susu. Oh man, The Sims. But this looks like something I'd totally be into. So fun. Yeah, you got a map, you got all this strategy, and you can play like I think there's 4 different characters. If you're only playing 2 characters or 2 players, you have to play these very 2 specific types of player. If you have 3, you can't be the vagabond, I think it's called. But if you have 4 people, you can play up to 4. You can also then incorporate the vagabond or vagrant, or I can't remember what they called it. Something with a V. I remember that. And he's a trash panda, aka a raccoon. So fun. But I really want. And then I guess there's another game that's less cutthroat, so to speak, as far as, because sometimes my youngest Wrigley gets a little upset, like if his whole thing he'd been working on a game gets wiped out by another player, he gets really upset, and sometimes he'll throw the cards and quit. So we gotta be careful maybe with him. But there's another one called Everdell. I don't know if you guys have heard that. Everdell, Dell. So I think it's one word, Ever. And I actually stumbled across this one while doing research about Root. That's a similar vibe to that Root one, but less cutthroat. As far as like, I just took your whole colony or whatever. Totally my vibe. I love it. Just fun little like woodland creatures hanging. I mean, this to me almost feels like you're in a video game, but without having the screen time, right? And I thought my kids, because my kids really both aren't into too many like quest games or strategy type games. They're more into like Minecraft, Roblox, like NBA 2K and those kind of games. But I thought it'd be fun to introduce them more to like strategy type games. And we already owned Risk that we played. This is way before Boston was even born. I had that game, and my husband, my brother-in-law, his girlfriend, and I used to play that like about once a month. We'd like go hours and hours playing Risk. It was so fun. And Boston, I don't know that Wrigley's quite old enough to enjoy or even understand Risk, but Boston definitely is. So yeah, we're just looking for things to like spend a chunk of time doing. And then we have, like I just bought a standard card deck, the bicycle pack of cards as well, just to play War and other like, just card games. There's lots of ideas for that, but Boston and I played all day long. Wrigley had camp from 9 to noon, and then I took him to his friend. He'd come home, eat lunch, took him to his friend's house at 1, and then about 3, they wanted to come over here, him and his friends, so they came over here for a while. And the whole time that Boston and I did have to go lock my sister's house after I dropped Wrigley off at his friend's house. So I popped over to the senior center thrift store. And I always feel bad shopping there. I feel like I'm stealing things because they price their stuff so low. I'm like, I feel like I'm stealing this. We got 5 puzzles. 2 of them were unopened, completely sealed. And I was just at Target, so I was looking at prices of puzzles. Some of them were like $25. And I'm like, oh, wow. The puzzles and games section were all $1 at the thrift shop, the senior center thrift shop. And of course, all the funds go to help the senior center keep in operation. So I'm like, what a great cause. Because I hope there's a senior center when I'm that age, because I'm totally going to be there playing all the games, hanging out, doing the shuffleboard, doing the cha-cha. I don't know what they do, but it sounds like great. But so we got all that. And then this like meme game that's kind of like Cards Against Humanity, but like for kids. And it's not like mean. It's like meme, like popular memes. It just has like a postcard of the picture of the meme. And then you will have 7 cards. Each player will have 7 cards in their hand at all times to find the funniest. Like a lot of them start with, like what was the one? I'm trying to think of one of the cards I had today. The face you make when, what was it? When the dentist asks you if you've been flossing every time you brush or something like that. So it's very kid friendly, but some of them are actually really hilarious. And we were having fun with that. But $1, and it was used, but all the pieces were there, and it was kept really well. Yeah, it is kind of fun, isn't it? I've noticed there's a lot of dogs, a lot of monkeys, and even a fair number of cat pictures. And funny enough, a lot of monkeys on their phones or on a phone. Not that they own the phone probably, but monkeys holding cell phones. Better repurchase than right, exactly. But I did leave because they have a little jar, a tip jar for donations or whatever at the senior center thrift. So we got like 6 things, and I just put a 20, and like you put the rest of it in your tip jar here or your donation jar, because I still feel like I probably should pay more for these because they're kept so nicely and have all the pieces and. Yeah, just so nice. But oh yeah, we did get Uno today because Wrigley's been asking for that. We used to have it, or I thought we did, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And we have been tearing every nook and cranny and closet and drawer out, and we haven't like done all the deep cleaning yet, but we're just trying to get stuff out to make room. I mean, not that our house is completely hoarded out or anything, but it's pretty embarrassing. I've got all the books that were downstairs. I'll just show you guys because, embarrassing. This room has been kind of a weird transitory thing anyway, but we've got all these like those are all writing craft books, and then there's a lot of like paranormal like research books that I have specifically for like the series I'm writing, and just I know a lot intuitively about it, but it's always nice to see, to corroborate some of what I know, from actual documented whatever. So I have decluttered a whole bunch of books downstairs, brought them all up here to kind of consolidate and then figure out what I'm doing with my books, because of course this whole room is not going to be anything I'm storing any of my stuff in coming like maybe by the end of the summer when Wrigley moves in here. So he's getting this room and I got to move my stuff out, and now the lighting is doing what it does best. So we're going to make things a little better. Hopefully we still got some issues, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back up and catch up on some comments here. Oh, you had a migraine since Monday. Oh no. Yeah, it's, I don't know that there's much worse than a migraine, because at least if you have other like ails and issues, you can kind of, relax and read a book. But when you have a migraine, you don't even want to open your eyes or hear anything. Like the migraines I get, I'm very light sensitive and sound sensitive when I'm in mid migraine, that you basically either sleep or meditate. Like those are your options. Lay there and be in suffering. Like those are your three options. Not very fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, worth the struggle in the beginning. Oh yeah, it really, and that's the thing is I think a lot of people that have tried to do that, not everybody, but I've heard, friends, I even had a friend, Wrigley's really good friends with one of her kids, and then our backdoor neighbor here is best friends with his brother, right older than that, and then the other brother is like almost Boston's age, he's a grade under, but they get along decently too. But she started out, oh, I'm inspired, I'm gonna do the 1 hour a day, no screen, or screens only 1 hour a day thing too. And I hadn't seen her for a few weeks, and the kids hadn't played for a few weeks, and she was busy and out of town and stuff, but she came back and she's like, yeah, we kind of went off the rails with the screen thing because my sister, we visited her in Seattle, and then her kids like live on screens. So my kids were like, it's not fair. So I'm like, fine, we're on vacation, you can have your screen. So now I'm like trying to wrangle it back in, and I'm like, oh, funny story, I just completely wiped out all the screen time. She's like, oh my gosh, I aspire to be you. I'm like, hold your breath. It's hard, but yeah, you just gotta keep pushing through and struggle those first few, I'd say 5 days when I really started to see the turnaround, to where they're not constantly like, please, can I just have 10 minutes on this? Like Wrigley, Mr. Negotiator. I can't tell you how many times those first few days he's like, can I just watch one video? Can we just watch Boss Baby on Netflix? Can we just? I'm like, no, I will hang out with you. But long, boring story short, Saturn in my 5th house going retrograde. I'm going to have to re-examine, reassess, reacquaint myself with my kids on a deeper level than I was previously or prior. And those Saturn, because Saturn is a decently slow moving planet. It's not the slowest of all, that's Pluto, but those outer planets and, even Saturn and Jupiter, they're slow enough moving. Jupiter, not so much, but Saturn, it takes, Jupiter takes about 13 years to make it all the way around the zodiac. Saturn takes 27 to 30 years to make it. And I can't remember, I think Uranus is like 84 years. So Saturn, it's a decent chunk to really go. And when it slows down to start stationing to then go retrograde or then go direct, you're already feeling it like a month or so before it actually does the thing it's going to do. Yeah, so I've been feeling this just urge to have a deeper connection with my kids, because I was, especially with sports ball season, it's like they get home, I don't see them all day because they're at school, and then we go directly to the baseball field or the soccer field or the basketball court, and you're the coach's kid for the next 2 to 3 hours, or however long the game is. Baseball was longest because they practice like an hour and a half before the game, and then the game itself would be like sometimes three hours for Boston's games, usually close to an hour and a half, 2 hours for Wrigley's games. So it's like, I don't see you except when you wake up and when you go to bed and when I feed you those meals and then you eat lunch at school. It's like, I never see you. So I felt like this was just a great way to reconnect, reinvigorate, the connection with the kids. And of course, also when Saturn is going direct, it almost feels like it's acting retrograde. When it's going retrograde, in, say, your 5th house, it almost feels like it's, even if it's not going back into your 4th house, which it can go, but it's not going to, at least in Vedic astrology, it's not crossing boundaries of astrological signs, but it can still feel or call up issues from that prior or previous house that it's already been through, most recently, which is, for me, is my 4th house, which, yes. Do we really need this? No. Put it in the donation box. Throw it in the garbage. Let's get things decluttered. And it's been going great. Kind of slowed down a bit this week just because the kids are, fully off the screens now, and they need a lot more. I was calling myself the activities director early on this week, but by now, yes, I'm still doing a lot of one-on-one with games, especially with Boston, because he's been home all week. Wrigley's been at camp at least till noon all week, and then has had friends over like every day, or been at a friend's house every day this week so far. But tomorrow's, of course, the holiday, so we're gonna go hang out with my in-laws and probably bring a bunch of games, because we're not going on screens out there either, even though they always, I don't think that TV has been turned off since they bought it. They probably turn it off at night, but as far as I can tell, the TV's just on. But it's usually on like baseball or some sports thing for my father-in-law. The kids usually aren't watching that one because they have like a TV in their TV room, which will not be turned on, mind you. So if Grandpa's not watching sports, then kids probably aren't going to be watching it anyway. So lots of hanging out outside if it's nice enough. We've kind of been having some weird weather, but kind of cool weather. It's like 60-some degrees today and yesterday and the day before. But yeah, let me catch up on your comments, and then we're going to get into a free one card poll for those that want it, about how Saturn retrograde will be, how you're going to be affected, or what you can, gain or learn from the Saturn retrograde. Because I always like to think there's something we're learning here, If we don't laugh, we cry in this realm. So we got to try to do our best to figure out what we can do with what we've been dealt, Game joke. Okay. So, you've been doing puzzles. At first it seems boring, but then we end up having fun together. Yeah. And it's not even just about searching for pieces. It's like the fun conversations you can have, or the funny stories you can tell to each other while you do the puzzle. It's so fun. Yes. Root. Target will price match. I will keep that in mind. That's awesome. The Red Wall books. Oh, I haven't read those. I might have heard of that. That sounds familiar. Vaguely familiar. Let's see. I gotta catch up on everybody's comments. Oh yeah, you play Uno a lot. This Saturday we had friends over at our home. We played Uno together. It was an amazing time. Oh, another game we love to play is Phase 10. If you haven't played Phase 10, it's a definite one to put in your arsenal for like game night for kids or adults. Like, everybody enjoys it. It's so much fun. I've been playing that one since about 2005. My aunt and uncle had that game, and then we'd always go over. There was this like German festival every year in her town, and we'd go visit her at that time every year, and we'd always end up playing that, and it's just so much fun. It's so much fun. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, you have that meme game. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, better repurchase than in a dumpster. I totally agree. Oh, you have the funny picture of a dog from that game on our fridge just because I think that's hilarious. Yeah, there's a few funny dog ones. Like, I like the guy with the yellow. He's got like the yellow hood on. He's funny. He's like a brown weenie dog. I did remember that one from the deck. And there's another one making a really funny face, like. Yeah. Hi, KK. Welcome. Oh, yours is a negotiator for sure. I mean, it's a good thing because they actually question authority, which I absolutely welcome. Because if I can't give my kids a solid answer as to why I'm asking them to do something, I'd like them to punch holes in my statement. I would like that, actually. I mean, it's frustrating in the moment, but like, as far as them being able to stand up for themselves later in life, I think it's great. So I encourage the independence. I don't always appreciate the pushback when I'm in the middle of trying to get them to do what I need them to do, but I can get on board with it. It is not from from my Vedic chart. It is, so I'm still, when I check into my astrology, I look from Virgo, from, the, what's it called? Fagan Bradley Hellenistic / Babylonian astrology placement. And then I also still check my old placements because even judging them from the transits and stuff, they're so accurate. Both iterations of my chart are so accurate that I can't just throw one out, but I can't just only now check one. I have to check them both and kind of split the difference. And it's been working well for me to do that. Yeah. Oh, you played FaceTime with your grandma when you were kiddos. Oh, that's so fun. Yeah, I didn't even discover it until about 2005. I'm like, where was this game my whole life? It's so fun. Yeah, so there's my, I guess, spiel about what I've been up to and what's been going on, and it's going great. I'm actually not worried about tomorrow. I am just slightly, because I do have to get my what do you call it, submission ready for my critique group. Which Brandy's probably joining. Oh, Brandy, Chris from our critique group did email me. She wanted you to kind of put out an introduction, hi everybody, email, because Leslie and Danny have kind of just not really been there lately, but they're still part of the group. But she just wanted them to be able, because we haven't even told them, hey, we're trying to add somebody here. So she just wants to get them in the loop with what's going on. So I will probably tomorrow or sometime before the weekend email you their email addresses, and then you can just respond with whatever email address you want to incorporate as your critique group thing. What else was I going to say about that? Oh yeah, and because I have to take that scene, because you were there, you remember what we were talking about. I had to take that scene that I'm like, I initially had it before this like breaking in, entering scene, and then I'm like, no, I don't know, maybe it goes after. So I went back to try to find the writing of it where it was previous, where we weren't alluding to the fact that they had just done this thing, because of course it started out before, and it's not in great shape. So I'm just gonna have to take the version that I have taken place after that scene and just kind of predate it back and take out anything alluding to the breaking and entering scene. So I got a bit of work cut out for me tomorrow, but my plan is to get it done tomorrow and get it all squared away to everybody. And I do want to also spend some time at some point this summer getting my book 1 in order, so you can look at that at your leisure as well. I just need to get to it and get it in a format you can open and see and everything. And unlike what Chris was talking about Google Docs, like I don't really care about that. I mean, if Google's already spying on me, and if they need to get it, I mean, they probably already have somehow access to my Scrivener anyway, so it's not a big deal to me. But like, you know, whatever. They probably already have my words anyway, so like, what's one more version of it? I don't know. All right, let's get into it, you guys. I've babbled, 27 minutes, and I'm sure those of you that are here for the free 1-card pull are like, let's get to it already. Oh, your son is the same way, Mr. Negotiator, right? I think a lot of us here have some negotiators in our, that we've created. We've created these monsters ourselves, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. We want to be what do they call it? Like the ghost in the machine. We want to be kind of the anomaly in this crazy upside down mixed up world. We want to be the anomaly. All right, so if you're here, we have 9 people in the house and 4 likes on the video. Thank you so much for your likes. That helps. Every teeny tiny little bit does help. I mean, people say that. I mean, does it really help? I don't even know. I would like to think it does. I'm going to set my intention that yes, every like does help. So since we have 9 people, let's put a 999 in the chat if you would like a free card for how Saturn retrograde is going to treat you, or, you know, areas of life to focus on, or, you know, just whatever needs to come up for you personally about Saturn retrograde. And of course, if we strike something within the card and you want to know more, you can always send a donation, which we do have 1 donation already for Brandy Lynn. It's her birthday. It's her birthday today. So she has gotten herself a birthday reading, which is always fun. And we'll get into that after we're done with all the 1-card pulls. And that's all we have thus far for donations, but I'm just going to open my email over here so I can see if they come in. If we need to add anyone to the list. Okay, here we go. So the first 999 I see is Brandy Lynn. All right, let's get into it for Brandy Lynn, how Saturn retrograde will be doing for Brandy Lynn in alignment with your true spirit. Well, we have some wish fulfillment coming in. So, but I'm hearing though, and normally it's a 9 of Pentacles that's all about, well, your hard work, you know, you put the work in, you get the reward. I'm kind of getting a 9 of Pentacles vibe, but this does feel like work you've done that almost didn't feel like work. but somehow just effort or attention, time, money possibly that you've invested in something is actually going to pay off for you and feel like a mini like wish fulfillment. And by mini, I mean, less than $10,000. So put that monetary stamp on it, I guess. So it's not like a lifetime wish fulfillment, but like something like, yes, I did it. It's awesome. Something pretty darn cool. And it could even be via like really amazing ideas or just like an emotional connection with your family. It can be something that you can't really put a price on, but it feels like gold. Yes. All right, Amber, let's get you a card for how Saturn retrograde is going to be affecting you. And we have here the Page of Pentacles. So, of course, pages do represent our children, so we have to take that part into account. So there's something about maybe even a new way forward or something you're doing in the physical with your daughter. Maybe a project you're working on together or just a new way you're communicating. I know that's more swords, but it feels to me very like camaraderie. Like building like a two-person team is really what I feel with this. So there's almost like this new beginning or being able kind of to go back and wipe the slate clean with things. And that makes sense for you because you are a Virgo ascendant. And yes, it's going to be retrograde in your 6th house, which is kind of your daily routines and what have you. You might even be establishing some new daily routines, but it also is kind of acting as like a retrograde in the 5th house, which is your children. So this makes perfect sense for you and Kashfi. I love it. All right. So up next, we got Marlene. And we have here for Marlene, wow, there's some big clarity coming in. You're seeing the truth of something where I think intuitively, yeah, that's what I'm getting is intuitively you've maybe felt a certain type of way about something. Something just wasn't sitting quite right with you. But during this Saturn retrograde, you're going to see the true colors or the light about something and realize, ew, no, this doesn't feel good. I should have trusted my intuition, and you're going to be able to sever or release or let go of that connection or, toxicity, whatever that looks like in your life. It can be even, I'm seeing like 3, 4, 5, 10 different things you're just trying to shift or change during the Saturn retrograde. And just a reminder, Saturn went retrograde on June 29th, and it's going to be retrograde into November of this year. So we've got a good, 5-month chunk of time, 4 to 5 month chunk of time to kind of re-examine some things or decide to like, oh, this doesn't feel good anymore. I'm going to just let that go out of my life. It doesn't have to be some big thing where you're, getting in fights and cutting people. It doesn't have to go that extreme. These are things intuitively you kind of felt, but kind of tried to maybe even gaslight yourself out of believing your own intuition about things. Because if you guys are anything like me, I do that sometimes. I still like, oh no, but they did this or they said that. And I like try to give people the benefit of the doubt because, and especially for you, Marlene, it's like you just somehow, and this is very similar to me, and that's why I think this is coming up, is I just expect that people are going to treat me the way that I would treat them or take care of me the way I would take care of them. Because like even just in my own little business, like the different business dealings I've had throughout the years, it's like I want to go above and beyond. I want to take care of people. I want them to feel like they're getting a good deal. And I just expect that when I, hire a service or buy a product, that I'm getting that same kind of treatment and care, but I'm not a lot of the time. Yes, sometimes I get those rare gems, absolutely. But for the most part, that integrity that a lot of people have, which you also have, Marlene, you're seeing that maybe certain people just aren't measuring up. So you can either decide to kind of pull back your energy from those people or, just decide, well, we'll keep you kind of at arm's length and I don't have to go above and beyond for you. I feel good giving you this much of my time, my effort, my attention, whatever it is, but no more. So good truth and clarity coming in for you, Marlene. I love that. All right. Up next, we got Jessica Lynn. How Saturn retrograde is affecting her personally. Wow, you've got 3 cards coming out to play. We have the Emperor. So you're not taking things lying down anymore. You're ready to step into your power, your authority. You're ready to move forward in something, and it possibly is moving past a heartbreak or a grief, a loss. This feels like something that just brought you to your knees. And this could have been way back in your past. Could even be past life related, but if it is, there's something that also happened in this life that kind of took the torch. I know we got the Knight of Swords here, but I'm almost seeing like the Knight of Wands, like passing the torch to the next lifetime, the next writer, that you're really doubling down to learn a lesson in this life about something that caused you a great amount of grief in a past life, but also in this life. And you're taking control of that grief. And this is not you saying, la, 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 can't hear you, can't see you. No, you're not spiritually bypassing. You're moving through it. You're saying, okay, once and for all. And it doesn't even feel like you're like out on a mission to make this happen. It's almost like the Saturn retrograde is acting as, because it is that planet of karma. So karmically speaking, it's almost like this is going to release those bounds or ties of karma that have kept you in these certain loops or situations, or maybe even finding the same type of person over and over in your life. It doesn't feel romantic related, although we do have like the romantic heartbreak card. I mean, it doesn't always have to be romantic heartbreak. It can be. And I'm not even getting, it could even be having to do with something with your father or your father's side or the father's side of the family ancestrally, back and back through the line, that you're clearing that karma and you're ready to move forward, literally cutting it out, seeing the reason behind some of what you've dealt with and moving forward, which is pretty darn powerful. All right, so let's get into Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Welcome. Give Michelle a card. And we have here 2 for Michelle. Wow. They're just coming out today. We have the Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. This is actually very powerful. I love this combination because there is such an essence of the Ace of Wands when you draw the Page of Wands, because that Page of Wands is picking up that torch and ready to move forward on that new idea, that new inspiration, that new workout routine, whatever it is. It's usually something fueled by inspiration or passion. Like it starts in the spirit first and then manifests in the physical. And usually it's that sense of like, I really want to do this thing that makes it physical. But now the fact that you also have the Ace of Wands coming out with the Page of Wands, this is a definite new beginning for you, Michelle, that you can, even if it's like picking up the torch of something that you kind of set down in the past or just kind of walked away from or lost interest in, or and even if it's not like if this is about your love life, possibly, it doesn't mean you're picking up an old flame, literally, but like just wanting to feel that connection with someone and ready to find a new flame kind of vibe. So it's like you may be doing something that you did in the past, but not with the same people or the same circumstances or something like that. All right. So up next, we have KK. Let's get KK a card. KK has the High Priestess. So, wow, I don't know if Saturn's going retrograde in your 12th house or somehow Saturn retrograde is aspecting your 12th house. Could even be your 8th house. 8th house is a very occult house as well, but I'm getting very 12th house vibes from this, or something with your Jupiter, Jupiter ruling the sign of Pisces, per Western astrology, and also, Vedic astrology, but Western astrology, it's Neptune. But I'm getting a very Piscean vibe from this for some reason. Maybe because she's in the water. I don't know why Pisces and water. I mean, to me, they don't usually correlate, but whatever. Maybe just because of the Pisces and the water. I don't know. But this could be like cleansing waters. I'm hearing cleansing waters. So I'm seeing something like being able to go to one of those like sensory deprivation tanks or float tanks and, depriving your senses and meditating and getting like spiritual downloads. This could also be like baths, showers, especially natural bodies of water. If you can get out in Mother Nature in those natural bodies of water, the creeks and the rivers, and be safe about it. It's always can be kind of scary if there's a lot of waves and rapids and action like that. But there's a lot of spiritual downloads that are coming in for you as a result of this Saturn retrograde, for sure. And even being able to see through people's BS or just like the veil of illusion that this matrix has placed on this whole thing, it's that fake copy put over the original. You may be getting glimpses of the original blueprint of this planet and the people and the animals and the creatures and the vibes of the natural blueprint, which is, can any of us hope for anything more? So that's awesome, KK. I'm excited that you get that card. I want that card. Banana Anna S. Let's see. All right, here we go. And we have 3 cards for Banana Anna S. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. So you are getting rid of possibly some lack mentalities or even like generational traumas, curses, wounds. These things are starting to look better. This could even be a time that some sort of inheritance or someone in your family gifts you something that is of like ancestral value or like something from like another family member, like passed down. You might be getting a gift in that regard. Temperance and also the King of Swords. So this is like a big self-care message. So being able to take care of yourself, and not just mentally and spiritually and emotionally, but also, and I would say even really double down on the physical self-care. When you're really feeling physically strained, really know that's your sign to step back. And also being able to speak your truth and just let people know I'm not dealing with the BS. And especially if you're someone who really struggles with confrontation, I'm seeing you being able to kind of almost like tap into that superpower of, standing your ground, setting your boundaries, and speaking clearly what you expect from others and what they can expect from you without you sounding like a B word, because a lot of times people are like, well, I don't want to like make them feel like I hate them or I'm yelling at them. Like, you're finding a very tactful way to speak your truth without people feeling like, God, what a, no, this feels very good. And there might even be some sort of family reunion or gathering, get together with immediate family, or even like, what do you call it? Like farther down the branches of the family tree, like cousins, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, that kind of thing. Grandparents, if they're still alive, parents, to be able to hang out and vibe together. All right. So I need a breakthrough with her. She's giving me such a difficult time. Well, it feels like there is a new beginning, or you're just establishing and maybe saying, certain ways you've treated me in the past just aren't going to fly anymore. We're trying new things, and we're both learning as we go. I've never been a parent before. You've never been my child before, at least in this exact scenario. So it's okay to, wipe that slate clean and try a fresh start at any time. It really is. But Saturn retrograde in your 5th house is the perfect time to get that going. My energy feels off balance, very up and down, but hanging in there. Clarity is much needed. Oh, you're so welcome. Also got your new car. Oh my gosh, yay. I know you've been wanting that for so long. I'm so excited for you. I hope you love it. I'm sure you do. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. There's something so exciting about getting a new house and a new car. Like, those are like big milestones in life as far as like purchases or contracts that are signed a lot of the time. There's just this air of excitement. So I'm feeling excited for you. That's so cool. Oh, you're a Pisces rising. There you go. That makes sense with that Pisces energy for sure. Oh, it resonated. I'm so glad. Yeah, congrats on the new car. Oh, you love getting out in the water, into nature. I'm open and ready to receive. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of spiritual support available. You just need to get out there and, in the water specifically, but, nature in general is always great. Even if it's the rain. Rain is also water, right? Yeah, I've been wishing for some positive changes the rest of the year. Yay! That's awesome. Yeah, I feels like there's some big shifts coming for you. Putting my foot down on her behavior, in fact, on my relationship with myself and others. Yeah, that's, anytime Saturn goes retrograde, you can really examine all the karmas you have with all sorts of people. You can also look to where your Saturn is in your natal chart. You can look to the houses that Saturn rules, which are Aquarius and Capricorn per Vedic astrology, or just Capricorn if you're doing more Western astrology. Any planets that are in any of those houses or conjunct or aspected by Saturn with Saturn in any of Saturn's houses you can really do some homework for yourself and see what areas of life you can do some like clearing of mass karma when Saturn is retrograde. It can be a big time to really, a lot of times Saturn retrograde doesn't feel the nicest for certain people. It doesn't feel too bad for me. If you have a natal Saturn retrograde, it feels like old hat to you. But, if you have a Saturn direct or combust in your chart, it might feel a little hairy at times. But once Saturn goes direct again, you're going to be grateful that you just went through that so you don't have to go through it ever again, whatever it is that Saturn's bringing. Because it can feel crazy. I do love it. And she's a beautiful red. Oh, I love it. That's so exciting. Yeah, one of my best friends got a newer, I think it's like a 2022. I think that's when she got it. But it was new the year she got it. And it's like this dark cherry red. It's probably the most, and I'm not usually drawn to red vehicles, but her vehicle, I'm like, just like attracts you in. It's beautiful. Like the color is just beautiful. I've been paying extra attention to Raylene's posts on parasites and feel most of the relationships feel like that. Yes, sucking your energy and good stuff. Exactly. Even the people we love and we can sense they have a true spirit, if we're feeling that kind of parasitic energy from them, they might have something going on. And of course, since you're her mom, you can be the one doing the work to clear that without even telling her about it. Of course, if it's your husband or a friend or an acquaintance or whatever, we always have to ask that permission. But yeah, when it's you and your own child, your own pets, you have full reign on that. Yeah, for sure though. Yeah, the parasite thing has been quite the theme. And you can just see it. Like you can feel it. You can see it coming a mile away these days for sure. You spoke about being outside and receiving messages. I'm currently outside my backyard grounding, and I saw the card you pulled about a minute before you pulled it. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love that. Yeah. KK feels you on that too, Amber. Yeah, same. It's a crazy world out there, man. Did we get everybody that wanted a card? If you did not get a card, put a 999 in the chat, and I will be more than happy to pull you a card to see what you can expect during this Saturn retrograde. And if at any point I've accidentally called it Mercury retrograde, I hope you guys know what I'm talking about, because that's like the main retrograde most people have on the brain. So much codependency. I'm done being a good mom and a good wife. Yes, you need to be a good person to yourself first and foremost. And I know, people are like, oh, that's selfish. It is so not selfish. You're putting your oxygen mask on first is not selfish, because you're going to make sure you're there when the going gets tough, right? Yeah. Oh, I need to cancel my farmer's dog. Sorry, that just popped up. They're sending my next order. I meant to cancel that before they did that. Oh, well, another however many dollars down the drain. Not that it's down the drain. I just want to now make my own dog food again, like we did for my other dogs for about 6 years. And yeah, they love the farmer's dog, but it is a pricey one. It sure is. Yeah. Oh, Kashfi, let's get Kashfi a card. Yeah. If anyone's in the market for good dog food, be willing, and you are willing to pay a high price. I'd say it is worth it. It's just, I know I can do that same level of service for less by making it at home now that I'm not on my screens. Oh, and that's the thing. It's not just my kids that are going screen free. I'm going as screen free as a business owner can go. And yes, I'll still allow myself a one-off YouTube video here or there. I still today haven't watched one. So, and I don't even feel, and it's funny because when my phone dings or does what it does, here or there to go off, I'm almost like, now what? Rather than, oh, yay, I get to pick up my phone and check it. In those first few days, I'm like just wanting to reach for that phone and look at it, even though I didn't know what I needed to look at. I just needed to look at it. And now I'm like, no, you can sit on the counter all day. I'm good. But, I still have a business I'm running, and I still have, a husband that's at work and texting and asking, do we have this at home, or do I need to stop at the store? You still got to communicate and live the way we live. But as far as me just randomly popping on social media or scrolling TikTok, I don't have TikTok, by the way, but if I did, I'd probably be scrolling it. But instead of doing that, I'm being more mindful, which is hard. Not so much hard now, but that first week was pretty hard, especially for the first 3 days for me. And I noticed for the kids, it was about 5 days. Yeah. But once I get it, this is a consistent thing. Then if I did want to watch maybe 3 YouTube videos a day, that doesn't feel excessive to me. Because there were days I was watching like 20, or maybe more if they were shorter ones, right? You just kind of have something on while you're doing other things. And I don't want to be, once in a while listening to a podcast or an audiobook or a YouTube video while I'm doing other things is fine. But I don't want to just fill every single moment of my day with noise of other people or just consume. I want to allow myself to just do the dishes with my own thoughts, or, be out in the yard without anything, just observing the present moment. Like, I love that. And I really struggle with that for a long time, because I'm like, I need to be learning something or feeling productive in some way. And I was really talking myself out of just that time to just, especially as someone with ADHD, I need time to just turn all the things off and just be present outdoors in nature, I use the same words today with my husband. I need to be there for myself first, forget family, right? And then, a lot of times looks like you're the bad guy for just wanting a moment to yourself, which, no, you deserve that, and then some. All right, Kashfi, let's get your card. I'm just going to keep talking. King of Wands. Yeah, this really is about being able to re-examine, reassess what's going on with authority. And, for her specifically, giving some of that authority back to mom and dad, but mostly mom, because you're kind of the one that's doing most of the parenting as far as energetically I can tell, Amber. But this is about listening to mom, Kashfi. This is about, mom knows best. She really does. She's trying to do what's best for you and just give you all the tools you need to succeed in this life. And she's doing a darn good job. Yes, you are, Amber. But yeah, this really does feel like, knowing when to listen, still also feeling this sense of motivation that always comes with this King of Wands as well. Just feeling motivated, inspired, ready to start some new project, or, maybe even just feeling inspired to make a big change in life. Could be even rearranging your room or decluttering, getting rid of things that just don't serve you anymore. Yeah. All right. So true. I feel I have been using it to shut the talkative monkey mind. Right. And this is the thing. I was telling my husband, I'm like, I feel this lightness. I just feel like I've almost traveled to the past, were those times where you could just let your mind wander, but it wasn't like entities or, the hive mind or collective consciousness, like hijacking your thought process. This is me picking up the tool that is my brain to think about things and brainstorm things, which, I'll do it here and there, but to have so many hours where I'm not, watching something else or listening to someone else on a screen. Yes, my kids, I'm listening to them a lot these days because we've got each other without those screens. We've got each other. But to just have time, like on my walks, just around, around my house, around the neighborhood, without the music, without the audiobooks, not to say I can't use audiobooks. I still listen to those. I haven't really listened to any audiobooks at all since, it's been about a week and a half. I just wanted to kind of, like those, what are those called? Those magnetic boards where you draw on them and then you have the slider at the bottom that just cleans the slate. I just felt like I needed a complete reset from even the things that aren't screens, like music. Like I'll listen to music. My kids have a record player and it also has a CD player. So like last week we were like real desperate for like just some noise of some kind because, that kind of withdrawal symptom of not being on the screen. So they found like an old Britney Spears CD, Magnadoodle, that's what it's called. Yes, I remember those. They found the old Britney Spears CD, the very first one, Hit Me Baby One More Time. And they were making fun of it and laughing. And, I was doing this dance that I made up to that song in high school and they were laughing at me, even though I thought I rocked it, but whatever. They don't know anything. Talk to the hand, 90s girl. So fun. Yeah, we're finding ways, but the kids have been listening to audiobooks. I'm allowing them that on their record/CD player. That's fine. And we've been to the library twice, once every Thursday. We're not going to go this Thursday because obviously it's closed tomorrow, but Friday during the day. So I meant to say this earlier. Friday's live stream this week will be at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, just so we can have time to go to the library and do some things because my husband has the day off. So we're going to go do some fun things as a family. Nothing too exciting. We're probably going to go to the library for sure. There's a lot of activities there besides just getting your books and your audiobooks. But they have a really fun section for the kids to hang out. They did a cover of that song. Oh my gosh, I used to have the Sometimes You Gotta... I don't even want to say it. It's a bad song. Let me find it. But my friend, when we had the TV show, it was the year that they came out with that CD. So it would have been 2003. Let's see. 2003, Tenacious D. Can't remember the name of that album. You don't always have to hurt hard. Sometimes, that song? Maybe it was the Complete Masterworks. Oh, no, that's the video. I did not know they did that. Hit Me Baby One More Time. I did not know that. Yeah, one of my friends was like obsessed with Nerf Herder and Tenacious D. Yeah. Yeah, that. I mean, it's hilarious because just to watch Jack Black get into that song is hilarious. But, if you know, it's a little, not safe for kids to probably be listening to that. You're like, what's that mean? I'm not going to be explaining that to you right now. But yeah, there were a lot of funny songs off that specific album that my friend had that we would listen to all the time in my car back then. So fun. Him and Jack and Kyle. So fun. All right. Well, let's get into Brandy Lynn's reading. And then we had another donation come in for a 1-card read, but I did not see who that was. Oh, Marlene. Oh, your birthday's Friday. So we've got the July 3rd and July 5th birthdays in here in the house. That's exciting. Well, happy early birthday to you, Marlene. That's awesome. All right, so let's get Brandy's reading. And she donated quite a nice little donation there. So we're going to really spell it out here. We're going to get into it. Oh, no. Did you get skipped? Let's do you. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Jamie. How did I do that? I'm sure it was there. No, I just skipped it. And you put a whole bunch of little heart emojis. How did I miss that? Oh my goodness. Let's do it. Let's do that. And then we're going to get into Brandy's reading. So tuning into Jamie's energy for Saturn retrograde, what this will mean for her specifically. Ooh, Queen of Swords. I always call this one Speak It Into Being. This really is about just saying enough's enough with certain things. And I don't know what house Aquarius is. You may not want to. No, I don't know what house Aquarius for Vedic astrology or Pisces for Western astrology is for you. But this does feel like just being able to stand your ground and actually speak your truth in whatever house this is going on for you. And she's kind of in this almost like barren. It's not really barren. It's almost like that turn from, the harvest is completely finished and now it's time to hibernate. It's time for winter. So what this means energetically for you is you're just kind of at the end of your rope, 0 F's left to give on certain things. But this has to do with feeling burned out, worn out, run down, and just ready for like mental breaks, emotional breaks, spiritual breaks, physical breaks, to be able to then take care of yourself. And of course, now I'm being called to get, handy dandy self-care book. Oh, as the books tumble to the side. Okay. So we'll flip through here to get you a self-care message right here. So saying no. Speak it into being. Remember, 0 F's left to give. The answer is no. And no is a complete sentence. This is what we're working with. Saying no. I'll read that little paragraph saying no. Now that you've identified your boundaries, it's up to you to make sure that they're not violated. But if where did I go? That they're not violated. But if a boundary is violated after you've clearly expressed it to someone, you must protect yourself by enforcing your own boundary. To enforce the boundary, you must believe the following words. I demand respect. And no is a complete sentence. For anybody. But no. 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 Yes. Yeah, so must have been something you definitely needed to hear. To just, it's time to quit feeling so drained. And it may even have to do with the kids or the care of the kids. You can't be the one always having to do this or always having to do that. Even if it's your main job or, you're the primary caregiver during the day or the whatever, there still comes a time when dad comes home or what have you, that now you get mom time or, better yet, Jamie time to do what Jamie wants. Not what mom wants, not what wife wants, but what Jamie wants. What we were talking about earlier with Amber. It's a very similar message of being able to take care of yourself without having to make an excuse or give 40 reasons why you deserve it. No, you just literally do deserve it. And you demand respect. Yes. Yes, Queen. Yes. All right. So sorry I skipped you, but I think it was important that we did not miss you completely because that needed. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We don't want you feeling dead. That's not fun for anyone, for sure. Well, big hugs to you, Jamie. I'm hoping you're feeling much better soon. More rested and more self-care time, for sure. Even if that rest is looking like something that most people are like, that's rest for you. Whatever rest means to you, it's on you to do that, and you deserve that. All right, here we go for Brandy Lynn. Birthday message. What does she need to know? I'm going to just read what she wrote here just to make sure I'm getting it. I think you just wanted just whatever advice or what have you, encouragement. Okay. Any advice and encouragement from Spirit is welcome. Okay, here we go. Oh, your mom's coming to help soon. Oh, that should be such a weight lifted. That's awesome. I'm so glad. All right, tuning into Brandy's energy. What does she need to know? Advice and encouragement. Ooh. Well, there's some exciting stuff coming up, possibly with one or both of the kids. We got the Page of Cups here, which, but also, this is like a double. And anytime I'm doing readings for you, of course your writing is like forefront because it means so much to you. But so do your kids. They mean so much to you. So it almost always feels like we can interpret this as, fun family stuff, but also fun creative project stuff. And this is about possible new ideas that make you feel even more emotionally connected to what it is you're creating within your manuscript and your episodes and that you're doing. And with the sun here, it feels like maybe some missing pieces, or there's light being illuminated on things that kind of felt like, this feels like it fits, but it still doesn't feel quite complete, or there may be some big reveal missing, or just one thing that could really take this up a notch. And these types of things are coming to you just in completely unexpected ways. You could be, talking to someone about something, and even if the idea you get for your book, or I just call it your book, you know what I mean, your writing, what you're talking about with whoever has nothing to do with your writing. There's something that like unlocks this hidden compartment within your creativity that completely blows something open for you in the best possible way, to shine some light, to make things flow for you. This can even be possibly about your like publishing path. Something is being revealed to you about the publishing path. Yeah, book is fine, right? Let's see. Specifically about this publishing path. Like, that's the road we're going down. Literally, look at the path. Look at the path. Yes. So there's a new option. Doesn't necessarily mean it's not an option you've considered or thought about or even know about. It most likely is, because, there are new things popping up here and there every day, but I'm sure this is something it's kind of already on your radar or awareness, but you're finally going to be ready to take that step. So there's definitely a path opening up, and it feels like a definite yes. It's not a, oh, that could work, or maybe. Like, this does feel really good. It feels good. Dear God, I hope so. The publishing path has been murky. Almost asked about. Okay, well, that's the direction, especially we're really starting here. So that's where we're going. Something is definitely being illuminated here that I'm feeling like a rush of excitement for you already, like preemptively. So that's exciting. Knight of Wands, you're moving forward. You're ready. You are excited. You're feeling the love. You're like, this was always it. How did I not see it until now? Like, that's the vibe. And I'm getting by the end of July, there's something, at least another piece of the puzzle is like being filled in or illuminated, to get you to start going down this path, or at the very least, like, it feels like you're doing more research, or that bit of information is somehow finding you, maybe even through email, or like, I don't know if you're any part of, or you have any newsletters or something that come in, and like, sometimes newsletters will mention other people who have newsletters or recommend somebody. Like, it could be like kind of friend of a friend of a friend told me, or this newsletter mentioned this one thing and I clicked on this link, and somehow in the sidebar I found, like, it kind of feels like that. It's like one step leads to the next, leads to the next. Yeah. Even if the initial thing that you're doing had nothing, kind of like we were talking about earlier about that conversation, has nothing to do with what you're, doing for your book, but it like opens something up. And it's like, I'm so excited. I can't even like find the right way to express this to you. Like, it's exciting. Yeah, plenty of channels open, right? It's definitely coming in, and you're taking that torch and you're writing with it. Look at that. It's almost like in the page, I hope this is coming across as the progression here. The page almost looks like the flames are like forming the horse. Do you see that? It almost reads that way to me. I know it's a fox or kitsune in there, maybe, possibly, that could be what that is, but I almost read it as like the flames were creating this like horse-like figure that the Knight of Wands then moves forward with. I don't know, but look, you start with this little flame that ignites this fire within you that you're then moving. You're like, yes, let's do it. This is something. It's go time. Something's happening. Yeah. I just heard You're the Horse, and I know we're not like, we're not that far from You're the Horse, I don't think, because I'm looking in my mind's eye at the Chinese restaurant like little menu, and I know the You're the Dragon, which is what we're in, is up on top, and it's either next to the horse or something else and then the horse. So the horse is either 2025 or 2026, I want to say. Maybe 2027, somewhere in there. It's coming up. It's coming up soon. Yeah, it might be. I know the horse is along the top. So it has to be anywhere from a year, 2 years, 3 years from that year of the dragon. Someone will know. Someone out there will know. But there's something about the year of the horse that things really move forward for you with your publishing path. Not to say you won't publish till the year of the horse. No. Because you could be publishing, later this year, next year, or however many years till the year of the horse. But it's then the year of the horse that things really start to take off. Mark my words. Mark them. And look, we got the kid on the horse. I didn't realize that until just now, but I'm holding this up like, yes, the sun is shining, but yes, look at the horses. And then the horse is being formed here. We got, of course, the horse with this, and then, of course, the Page of Cups here is in the water. But, oh my gosh, interesting. Let's go to this little synchronicities deck and just see anything else Brandy Lynn needs to know about this path. And I'm going on and on and on a little bit for hers because she did send much more than, what you do for one reading. So I'm taking care of our girl. All right. What else? Oh, the Empress. So there's that creativity that, making those ideas into the physical realm. So even, think of it this way. Even if you are publishing these things, via online means, if that's the path you take, to me, that's still making it physical in some way. It really does feel that way. And then, of course, I think once you reach the end of your season or whatever, I can't remember exactly your verbiage on all of that, or your vocabulary on all that. But I think you had mentioned once you reach a certain point, you'll then publish all of that then as a book, or maybe eventually like an omnibus or something like that. 2 years for a business to turn profit rule of thumb. Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely is registering here. And then we have Star. I mean, yeah. So wow. Okay. Coming back, kind of circling back to mailing list or like contact list. Some mailing list or contact list will maybe possibly at some point pick what you have to offer with whatever your publishing path is. We'll put that on their mailing list that then gets rocketed out to everybody. That you get a lot of readers through some other person kind of recommending, or, just getting the fact that your stuff exists in front of other people somehow. Someone's going to be able to do that for you. Yeah, it's kind of like your network circle, your 11th house, something with your 11th house. And the star is like that water bearer energy of, 11th house, which is Aquarius, the natural Aquarius sign. I want to go somewhere else. Where do I want to go? Well, it's interesting. We have this night school deck out still. So I want to see if there's anything Brandy Lynn needs to know or learn, even if it doesn't have to do with publishing or writing or any of that. Let's see. We got 2. Clairaudient. Do you ever hear voices, or when you're thinking of a problem, does a song that seems to answer your issues just happen to play? If so, you're interpreting the energies of the world with clairaudience. Your brain translates visible patterns into sound. And maybe even, I'm sure you already do this, and if you don't, maybe try it out. Listening to certain songs or instrumental music, if words are hard while you're writing, sometimes I'm in the mood to hear words in a song when I'm writing, and other times I'm like, it distracts me too much. But other times I can totally get in the zone with it. It just, oh, you're stellium in the 11th house on your on the FB chart. Oh, wow, yeah. And we have practice reading symbols. Interpret the symbolism of a circular staircase, beginning with history and mythology, then looking at modern scientific or engineering information. Take a gander at known symbolism. End with your personal reflection. So there's these 2 if you want to screenshot. I don't know. Some people want to, some people don't, probably. I don't know. But yeah, big stuff coming. And this is as a result. Didn't you have that 9 of Cups? So there's something about this Saturn retrograde that is really, maybe you are kind of sloughing back through things that you had once thought, well, this could be a thing, but then maybe put it aside, or didn't really think too much deeper into it, or something you completely said, no, I'm not doing that. You're kind of like, well, things have kind of changed. So maybe I can now. It's different now. Something might be different now than it was before. Yeah, but there's something about the Saturn retrograde that is bringing things up. I'm seeing like this pond that's like clear reflection pond, but then you walk in it and you stir up all the dust or the dirt that's at the bottom. And yeah, the stuff gets kind of murky for a bit, but once it settles again, like things are revealed. Like that's what this Saturn retrograde feels like for me. Because you did get that 9 of Cups, which I felt like it was more of a 9 of Pentacles. Like that hard work, that effort, that time you've invested in something before is going to pay off, but not maybe in the way you think. So this does feel very relevant to your writing now. And then we have the dreamer here. So don't be afraid to dream. Don't be afraid to be like, if I could have this go exactly according to plan, what would that look like? And I don't know if you have downloaded any of Sarah Cannon's different workbooks and stuff. If you're part of her newsletter, she has like different work pages and journal prompts and stuff about like, if I wasn't afraid to dream, like and if money was no object, what would be my like ultimate path here in whatever? And just write it out, if you haven't done that, or if you have done it, maybe just kind of update that exercise for yourself and just, don't feel silly. Don't feel like, oh, well, that'll never happen. Just, floodgates open, just let it flow and just see what it is that your spirit is wanting for you. Because sometimes we don't really know until we start writing, and then that flow just starts coming through and we're like, I didn't know I felt that way. Like I've done that so many times during journaling that I'm like, I didn't realize I felt that way. I guess I feel a certain type of way about this or that or this or that. Very interesting stuff. Let's see. Let's close it out with, these are the like advice. Let's see, any advice or encouragement from Spirit for Brandy Lynn. I'll skip this ad because they're just sending them. Encouragement for, her publishing path, or just anything else at all that she needs to know. Especially leading her up to that year of the horse, 2026. Yeah, it's coming up, isn't it? All right. Don't allow negative emotions to fester. If you're feeling frustrated, angry, or hurt, for example, just acknowledge that instead of fighting your feelings. Go with them and work with them. Then true healing can really begin. And what I'm getting as I'm reading this is this download of this scenario where you may think that I put all this effort, all this work into this, especially your publishing path, and then it's like dead end or something negative. You realize, oh, this isn't going to be actually my best path. And then, but again, it's because you took all these steps to get you where you are. Said negative thing possibly happens, or, you're maybe feeling that imposter syndrome. Maybe it's as simple as that. But maybe it's as bad as I prepared to launch on this one website and then they went bankrupt and now I can't do that. Whatever it is. And remind me or correct me if I'm wrong. You kind of had a path and then you kind of like, wait a second, this isn't going to work because it's different now, or it's just not what you thought it was when you initially looked into it. Something like that. It could be referring to that. It could be. But I'm feeling like there's something yet to come that still kind of got you feeling in your feels or frustrated a bit about the publishing path. But that is kind of almost like acting as the catalyst to really help you through it. So it's actually a gift rather than, it feels frustrating in the moment for sure. But when you are feeling that next frustration, whatever it is, just realize, no, this is going to help me crack the case. So it sucks to feel this way, but like, let's feel it. Let's really feel it. And then yes, communication, news, being able to move forward, new ideas, new communications, lots of good things here. A new beginning for sure is coming in as a result of that. And it's leading to emotional fulfillment, but it's also about trusting your intuition along the way. So of course, always trust your intuition. Something feels too good to be true. It usually is. If you're like, no, I'm really feeling this, then go that direction. Because even if it does turn out to be a cul-de-sac or a dead-end road or you thought you were going down this nice little path on the dirt road and all of a sudden you're on a freeway, know that you at any point can get off the freeway by taking an exit or just pulling over to the shoulder, or decide, no, this path is not for me, or, well, I thought this path was for me, but obviously it's not because there's now a cul-de-sac that I have to now turn around and go this way. Just know you're being guided and ask your spirit along every step of the way, guide me, guide me, guide me, because you will guide yourself for sure. And it will lead you to this big decision at the end that is, big energy here with the Judgment and the Lovers here of making a leap with your intuition, taking that leap of faith, making a major decision that will then lead to this like revelation and just next level. This is next level energy. And Emperor is also staring, so we gotta give him some playtime too. This is about you being the one in charge of your publishing path. So it's not like you're gonna, scrap it all and go traditional publish route. I don't see it that way at all. You're still self-publishing this in some manner or another, for sure. Vela changed their payouts. Things are real shifty in the serial space at the moment. Yeah, which is crappy. And it's like, even to do something like on Ream, I think it is, that Sarah Cannon's doing, it almost feels to me like you kind of need a readership to even go that route, because who's going to pay to read if they've never read you before? And, it's like, eventually maybe you're going to go that route, but it's like finding that readership, finding that kind of foundation you're building for yourself to then be able to build upon, for sure. But yeah, I wish you nothing but the best. Of course, we'll be in touch with all this, and I need to do more research about all of the options out there, because I'm kind of just in this like la la land of let me get the thing written and then I'll worry about it. Because I know myself. If I start researching, which I've done before, more trying to decide, do I do traditional publish, do I do self-publish? And it should have been a big duh for me back then, but it's such a duh for me now that I would never traditionally publish. Never. I don't know that you could pay me to traditionally publish with just intuitively what I feel, and also just logically and with the research that I have done since. I'm like, I mean, even if you are one of those big publishing unicorns, I think it was you even that told me, even they are struggling to sell books right now. So you might as well do your own thing. Oh, you got fireworks tonight, so you got a jet. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, this might be one you want to timestamp. And sorry I didn't get the timestamp at the beginning. I should have done that. But we're at 1:16:35 right now. So if you go to that point when this posts and just scrub back until, about the time I start talking about your reading, you can kind of, leave a comment in the comment section with your timestamp, so you can revisit this if at any point during, your publishing path or getting to the year of the horse, to see if there's any nuggets that make more sense later than make sense now. Sometimes I'll get a reading or, do a reading with a friend or something, or I'll do my own reading, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, it resonates, but like, there's still too many unknowns here. But then, time goes by and I revisit, I'm like, bang on, bang on, bang on, bang on. How did I not see this the way before? Probably because we didn't have all the information before that we have now. Hindsight's 20/20 always. Maybe not always for some people, but most people. All right. So Brandy Lynn, I hope that resonated for you. Have fun with your fireworks. All right. So Marlene, just let me know that you're here. I'm sure you're still here, but it's also her birthday the day after the 4th. So the 5th. Happy early birthday, Marlene. And let's get a small birthday reading, 1-card pull, but me, never one card. And I'm just kind of shuffling to put these back, but I feel the need to just pull one, just kind of as this solar return energy for Marlene for the year ahead. When doing divination, ask the right question. Okay, wow, interesting. Of course, I'm still getting it. This is kind of just a bonus. This isn't part of your reading, really. But yeah, write down the first question about your life that comes to mind. So this is when you're doing your own readings or, wanting someone else to do a reading for you. You can do this. Edit it to make it more specific. Ask if it's detailed enough, and then rewrite the question, getting as granular as possible on the details. So this is when you're doing divination, ask the right question. Because that's the thing is, if, just us as people, we're not asking our cards the right question, we're not going to get maybe sometimes the right answer. But a lot of times when we do just kind of leave it up to spirit, a lot of the right answers can come through, because there's no like set precedent for like, it has to exactly resonate with this question I'm asking. You can kind of just leave it open. So that does work a lot of the time. Let's see. So for Marlene's solar return, what does she need to know? We had these come out. Oh, wow. Okay. So things that have felt kind of lacking, especially with your like emotional connection, emotional fulfillment in life, just feeling blah, feeling stuck, feeling stagnant, just feeling emotionally disconnected, even from people that you once really felt connected to. Even if those people are still in your house. I was really feeling this during baseball season. It's like, yes, I know my kids and I love my kids and I know they love me, but like, I feel like we haven't sat down for like a decent conversation in months because we're just so busy. We're go, go, go. We're do, do, do. So it feels kind of a similar thing here, but it's all about shifting the perspective or taking what you do have control over in any given situation where you're feeling that emotional discontentment or lack with someone, something, just the general direction of life, just the unknowns of life, or even just the unknowns of like the potentials for like a World War III or, another crazy pandemic, or you just never know. And sometimes even just stressing about the unknowns can cause even more stress. But the card that came out to, kind of tell a story with this is the Ten of Cups. So this is letting you know that where you're feeling that lack, that kind of vagueness in life, you're going to really get a sense of fulfillment. Things are going to feel more content, more full, more emotionally invested, more emotionally connected, fulfilling. You're going to go to bed tired every night, but like feeling like your heart is overflowing. Like that's the vibe I'm getting here. But this is as a result of changes you have personally made. And I'm really reading like this lady in the blue dress in this one is like the same lady in this white dress here. Like it almost reads as the same person. And I'm really reading that as you. It's like you're the one kind of starting or taking the lead to feel that emotional fulfillment in your life. And yes, there can be people that can back you up or, support you, help you out, but it's like you are deciding to take the lead on certain connections and relationships. I meditated this morning. I was asking questions to see if I can get an answer. Oh, wow. See, that's such a powerful thing to do because that's when you can just really quiet everything down and, the spirit will whisper. And a lot of times that noise, that collective hive mind consciousness, entity interference, it can be very loud and very cerebral a lot of the time. But that like spirit voice is very subtle, very quiet, very calm, very soothing, and very hard sometimes to hear. And that's when you quiet everything down and really meditate and feel in. It can be very powerful exercise to get the answers you're looking for. Dealing with a little emotional disconnection with certain people. Yeah, I think I got one answer, but not sure if it was my own mind. And that's where, you can kind of validate with, if you do have a deck of cards, just always set that intention that you're only communicating. And I do this every time before every reading I do here. I usually just do it in my head. I don't usually say it out loud, but even when I do my own readings or readings for, friends, family, whoever, I always set that intention that I'm only connecting to my true spirit to get these answers. I'm not connecting to this, that, whatever, unless it is a specific, guide or spirit that someone wants to connect with, then I connect in with only their true spirit. Or if it's a person that I'm doing a reading for, I will connect to their true spirit to get the answers for, to help facilitate that. Usually your cards can help validate answers you get from within. And when I was really starting to hone that intuitive, like listening to my spirit muscle, I'd ask myself in meditation certain questions, and then I'd kind of go fact check those answers with my cards. And 9 times out of 10, not always 10 times out of 10, but 9 times out of 10, it was exactly on. So of course, trust your intuition. Don't try to second guess yourself, but sometimes just having that validation, usually from yourself as well, if you're doing your own cards, can really help. All right, what else does Marlene need to know for this solar return? And we have here in tune. And not only is this being in tune with your own spirit, your own inner voice, but those connections we were talking about, feeling more connected, feeling more emotionally fulfilled in the relationships in your life, and maybe even highlighting that romantic connection with your husband. And just, not that things are always 100% perfect or 100% bad. Usually there's hovering somewhere in the middle for most relationships. But this can be about just reigniting the things or reuniting with the things you have in common, and really emotionally connecting with the things that for sure can get an emotional connection with. Oh no, we're still going, Kirsten. You're fine. Feel free. We're here for the long haul here. All right, one more from Marlene before we close out. Anything else she needs to know for the solar return? Leader. Yes, like I said, you're the one taking the reins. You're taking the lead. You can't even see it. Sorry. lighting situation. Let's do this. The sun came back out. That did not help, but hopefully this will. Come on, there we go. All right. So yes, now we can see it. Leader. And where did those cards go? Yes. Like I said, this is you being the one to take the reins, take the lead in changing what just doesn't feel emotionally fulfilling, invested, and being the one to really, and of course you can rely on those you love for support. They most of the time will be more than happy to support you, but a lot of times they don't know how to fix things, but they're definitely there. If you want to try to fix things yourself, I'll be here to support you as you do that. For sure. So you do have a lot of support. A lot of times we don't even, and maybe that's about asking the right questions, not only with divination, but, are you asking the right questions of your partner? Are you asking the right questions of your kids, of your parents, your friends, your family, the people that mean something to you, especially if you are needing that support, that love, or even just like a timeout, like, hey, I love you so much, but like, I need some time. Like I'm having an emotional roller coaster. I just need some time to like recalibrate. And not that we have to sit here and like give a life story of why we need space, why we need time, why we need whatever. But usually people will be more than happy to accommodate us if they love us, And a lot of times, especially as moms, we feel bad even asking for a minute to ourselves when, most of the family is like, no, Mom, you're good. Take your bath, take your reading break out in the backyard in the hammock, do what feels good, Mom, we're fine. Yeah. So hope that resonated for you. But yeah, it looks like things are really starting to look up, but you're like, you're taking the lead to be able to really see some beauty come back into your life and just feel just more emotionally connected, not only to a couple other people in your life, but also to your own spirit, your own self, your own sense of self. So yeah, feels like it's coming back online for you as a result of, turning that next age, on the calendar or aging wheel. I don't know what it's called. Aging. All right. We already did all the free 1-card pulls, but we still do have a giveaway and a drawing coming up, baby girls. So if you want to hang out and just kind of vibe with us until then, I think Kirsten was going to donate for a reading. And then after that, my donation list is done, at least as of right now. And then we're going to get into the giveaway and the drawing. So hang in there, and there's still more to come. Oh, you donated. Awesome. So yeah, go ahead and post your question, and we're going to get right into it for you, Kirsten. All right. Yeah, it got real dark again. I don't know. That's all right, right? That looks, I don't know. Lighting's always interesting during the summer months in this room, facing the western side of the horizon over here. Yeah, that lighting, I guess, doesn't look too bad. General guidance read. Okay, let's do it. All right, Kirsten. General guidance for Kirsten. Tuning into Kirsten's true spirit. What does she need to know? Ooh, so it came up in reverse. Am I shuffling in reverse? Yes, I am. But usually when that happens, there's a reason I did it. So you may have been feeling very out of balance, or like you're giving, and other people are taking. Or, you work really hard for something, but you're not getting that effort shown back by way of, that like energy exchange. You're just not feeling the love or feeling that like, and yeah, I guess the word really is energy exchange. You're not feeling like your work is paying off, or, that contentment, like just life contentment is just kind of feeling like wah, just kind of sideways, or like, this is it. That's it. All this work and effort, and this is all I get was this lousy t-shirt. Like that's kind of the vibe that's kind of going on right now. But the fact that you're inquiring, that feels to me like this is shifting. So let's see. Yes. Okay. Whew, I just felt like taking this like sigh of relief, like, oh, thank God. Yeah, there's something major shifting for you. Not only are you going to feel like balance is being restored, and this feels like health related as well. So like mind, body, spirit. So it's like all the things are finding ways to rebalance, recalibrate, get feeling good, feeling situated, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You're really getting things lined up and balanced in a much more balanced way than they maybe have been. And there's even like this wish fulfillment, something you've been really wishing for, hoping for, praying for maybe. is that prayer will be answered, and you're going to be very happy, like jump up and down kind of happy. So this could even be that you're being approved for that surgery, the I think it's called bypass. Is that what you were looking at? Gastric bypass. You might be approved for that. It could have to do with your health in some way. It really does feel health related, but also just like life in general. Like jump up and down, like, yes, things are finally going my way. Oh, you're trying to eat better. See, you're taking steps to make things better for yourself. Here's some wisdom or advice. Perhaps you're reminded all too often just how quickly the phases in your life can shift. One change after another, you are learning to adapt and grow. Be kind and gentle with yourself. Yeah, it's like one step at a time. And even if at times you do have to take a step back or a step forward, you're going to keep moving forward. You definitely are moving forward. Hey, yeah, I'm totally here. Hi, Joy. How have you been? How's it going? Yeah, I'm still here. We're still hanging out. Feel free to donate, and we'll get into it for you right after Kirsten's reading. All right. So, yeah, we have the moon. Okay. So what this is saying for me, for you, Kirsten, is the fact that a lot of times we want to do the right thing for our health, our mind, our body, our spirit, all the things. We want to like hashtag thug life, do things awesome for ourselves. But there sometimes can be this confusion or just like scratching our head, like, what is the best diet to follow? What is the best workout program? What is the best, coaching thing to take? What is in my best interest? Because what's in your best interest might not be the best for this best interest or that best interest, whatever is going on. So this is about you putting in the effort, doing the research, putting in the man hours to see through the illusion of, or, those, lose weight quick pills or this or that, doing your research to be able to know what is in your best interest, or maybe what you can just be like, nah, I'm gonna avoid that. Let's see. Oh, considering doing injections for weight loss. Okay, so this makes sense. It's like maybe right now you're kind of feeling like, I don't know everything I need to know about it. But maybe once you start down that road of research and, maybe even reaching out or doing some consultations with certain doctors and just getting their advice, or, whoever it is that you're going to for advice. But of course, also trusting your own intuition, because your intuition is very valid and should maybe even trump all of these other resources, or, oh, I know better, I'm the expert. Actually, your spirit is the expert on yourself more than any doctor, any tarot reader, any other person out there. So doing that research, and it's not going to be easy. A lot of times you'll get research that says this is the best thing that's ever happened. And then on the counterpoint of that is, don't ever do it. You're going to die. Like, who knows what to believe anymore? So that's where your intuition comes very in handy for yourself. But as far as, let's just see if doing the injections are in your best interest, and of course, entertainment purposes only. I'm not a medical professional of any kind. Of course, your intuition is going to be the one taking the lead here. And of course, the card flopped into my lap and it kind of went sideways. So 2 of Wands. So I would say don't rush into this, because this is about planning, pre-planning before you take that leap. Someone that gets this in reverse is like, but I just want it now. I just want it now. So you don't do all the research and then maybe you get burned about something. Usually when people just like impulse buy, this is the feel like, want. It's like, yeah, that sweater held up for 2 washes and now it looks like a rag full of pills. Like, you want to do some further research before you bite the bullet or, take that leap of faith. But then you also have the Emperor. Yeah. Ultimately, your spirit is the one in charge here. So tune into your spirit. Maybe even doing what Marlene was saying is just sitting out in nature if that's possible for you. Sitting out in nature, trees are a great place to really ground yourself, even if you can't really hang out outside too long, look around, make sure no one's watching or looking at you. Put your hands on a tree and ask your own spirit for that wisdom and guidance in, is X, Y, or Z the best path forward for me? Whatever your question is. And just make sure you're asking the right questions, or make sure you're asking enough questions too. Not only to yourself, but also, these different providers of, medical stuff. But be your own advocate and stand up for yourself. But there is a karmic shift coming, and this might even have to do with Saturn now being retrograde. It went retrograde on June 29th. And it's going to be retrograde through sometime in November of this year. So about 4.5 to 5 months worth of retrograde. So wherever Saturn is currently transiting in your chart, Kirsten, or Saturn is sitting natally in your chart, And then, of course, if you follow Vedic astrology, Saturn rules 2 signs, which is Capricorn and Aquarius. But if you're following Western astrology, you can look up where Capricorn is. And of course, if you have any planets in Capricorn or conjunct or aspecting Saturn, or I know, let's see, I'm trying to think. Jupiter. Oh, Saturn is going to be going into Rahu, or the North Node's nakshatra. So where the North Node is currently transiting is also going to become very important. But I think this is closer into August or September time. So we have a bit of time before that happens. But things are really going to be, the boiling water is going to be turned up a notch come that time when Saturn retrogrades back into Shatabhisha nakshatra, which is ruled by Rahu, or the North Node. And where your natal North Node, because that is like your guiding light in this life. That's where you're striving to go, or, the lessons you want to learn, or, the life purpose, all that stuff is really tied up in your North Node. Let's see, anything else? Closing arguments, closing statements for Kirsten. General guidance, anything she needs to know. Oh, you bought some clarity and guidance crystal sprays, so that might help. Oh, for sure. And especially if you're setting the intention that these sprays are going to unlock new levels, new dimensions for me, then you better believe they will. Because a lot of times what we believe and what we, using our imagination to set those intentions, I know it sounds woo-woo, I know it sounds childish, but that's the thing. If we each understood how powerful our intentions are, we would be making intentions every time we brought that fork to our mouth, every time we walked from our front door to our vehicle to get in the car to go somewhere, every time we made a purchase. You set intentions and your life is going to change. And the more intentions you can set with everything you do, the better, for sure. All right, closing argument for Kirsten. What else does she need to know? In alignment with her true spirit, wildness. I actually really love to see this, because this is about doing things kind of against the grain, and just look at the color palette here. Just beautiful. I love it. Just not being afraid to stand out, but also do things completely different. Be a little wild and, be a little rebellious, maybe even. All right, I feel like I need one more. Yeah, Raven. Wow. And then this is almost like a, kind of like from here, it almost looks like a peacock feather, does it not? I know, Raven. But ravens, crows, but specifically ravens, and the raven symbolism might mean something to you. And you might even start to set that intention that I will start to see ravens when I know I'm on the right path. Or when I see a raven, that means, you set whatever intention you want for that. But, ravens are great messengers of spirit as well. It reminds me I was going to start doing tarot. Okay, there you go. Well, there's your reminder. Start doing some tarot. See if you, and of course, I always tell people, and I always, for myself, set that intention that I'm only connecting to my spirit when I'm reading through these cards. Because if you don't set that intention that it's only my spirit, or, whatever it is you're connecting to, but of course, vet each thing you're connecting to out. As most of you know, I no longer work with spirit guides or any of that. I just only tune into my true spirit, which is connected to the original source creator of all that is. So the answers are coming directly from source, if that makes sense. Cutting out all the middlemen, and when you set that very same intention that you're only connecting to your true spirit when you use your own tarot cards, you're not going to have, this random ghost or trickster energy or demonic forces. You don't know what's out there. If we could see what's actually out there, we would probably just be in a fetal position, curled up screaming. But just set very clear boundaries and intentions with your own divination tools for sure. And you're going to get even more accurate answers than you would get just letting any old thing hop in and try to take over, All right. Closing statement for Kirsten. Anything else? And we have trust. This is not you trusting random spirits and what have you. This is you trusting yourself and your own intentions, that you're setting the right intentions for the right reasons. Just trust yourself. Big message there. Trust. I think so many of us, part of our life purpose here really is to learn to trust our own spirit, not our ego, not our thoughts, because a lot of our thoughts are just collective hive mind consciousness or entities interfering in our thought process. So you can't even a lot of times trust your own thoughts, but trust your own gut, trust your own instincts, trust your own intuition. That very subtle voice that's not so much a voice in your head, but it's just a voice in your whole body. All right. So I hope that resonated for you, Kirsten. All right. So Joy, I think that was the donation that came through for Joy. Let's see what we got going on over here. Yes, Joy. Welcome back, Joy. I hope you're doing well. Go ahead and post your question, and we're going to get right into it for you. How have you been? Thanks, it did. I'm so glad. Big hugs, Kirsten. I'm going to take a quick drink of water. And of course, guys, don't go away if you want to try to get in on the giveaway. And of course, we're doing a drawing. So there's 2 more ways to win a reading or get a reading tonight. It's not just donating. So hang in there. And while we're waiting for Joy's question, I'm going to see. We got, let's see, 4 strips of paper for our drawing. So let me cut a few more while we're hanging out. Because this is the part that takes so long when we're doing the drawing. Is me cutting new strips of paper. And I have to cut the sticky part off so it's not sticky when we put it in the drawing bag. Or whatever we're calling that pouch. The drawing bag. Back to the drawing bag rather than the drawing board. I did not cut that straight. Let's make that better. Cut those words off anyway. We don't need that in our drawing. Okay. All right. Good. Long time no talk. I'm looking to quit my day job in September, but now I'm feeling the end of the year would be better. Just want to check in. All right. Well, I actually have a timing deck downstairs that I was actually using with a friend of mine on Sunday. I'm going to go grab that because I am loving that deck for like time-related questions for sure. And of course, I always say take a time-related question with a grain of salt because an action you take or don't take or something that someone else does that like changes your timeline can completely shift the timeline and you're on a completely different time. So I always say take, like a rubber band. It can stretch way far out or just kind of stay right here. So I'm going to go run and grab that real quick. I'll be right back. So don't go away. And we're back. Okay. Here we go. So for Joy, looking to quit her day job in September, but now feeling the end of the year would be better. Just want to check in. All right. And I can probably fix our lighting situation again too. Maybe. That's probably making it worse. I don't know. It's all right. Good, not great. Tuning into Joy's true spirit. You were feeling very set on dates, but I'm also tuning in and trying to see what is best. Got it. All right. So what timing would be best for Joy to quit her day job? Is it September or the end of the year or some other time? What does she need to know about the timing? Stop waiting. Don't miss out on opportunities for yourself. Timing will be very far into the future. But this is what I'm getting from the bottom section here. Timing will be very far into the future if you don't take that leap of faith. That's what I'm hearing. Well, let's see if we could get Spirit to not be so coy about it and come out with a time frame. Because there are like timing cards in here. Let's see. When you stop getting in your own way, you are your own worst enemy, a hazard to yourself, which is a very not nice way of saying that. But, a lot of times we think, oh, well, if I quit now, then this will happen or that'll happen. So it's almost like just trust your intuition. That's pretty much what this is saying. Because what we're seeing here is stop waiting and stop getting in your own way. Because there's something really great on the other side of you taking that leap. Because it really does feel like that job, the day job, is really just not in alignment with you, or you're just really not feeling it anymore for whatever reason. And it almost feels like you've probably been ready to go for a while, but just kind of almost like watching the jump rope. Like you want to jump in right so you don't get caught up in it, right? Like that's what I'm seeing is like, oh, I could go now. No, I could go now, but like, kind of like that. So let's see for Joy. What does she need to know in alignment with her true spirit about quitting this job? Okay, 6 of Cups, but I'm shuffling in reverse. And when I do that, there's a reason. So it's almost like you are allowing certain good things that happened at this job in the past to kind of keep you there until X date or that date or whatever. But turning this around, it's about, you can still keep those good memories of this job, but you're ready. You're just so ready to be on to whatever it is you're wanting to go on to. It's been a year that I've been trying to leave. Yeah. It's like that, like jumping in with the jumper, like, oh, should I do it now? Oh, wait. Okay. Well, but kind of like that, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, I think we've all been there. We almost feel, and it's always good to go out on a high note, as high of a note as we can, or, before things get really like we're dragging our feet and like forcing ourselves to get up every day and go to work. Like, we definitely want to get out before it reaches there. But if you kind of already feel like you're there, I would say sooner is better. So if September is kind of your soonest time that you're ready to leave, I would make it September. I really would. But of course, in alignment with Joy's true spirit, what is in her best interest as far as leaving this job? Yeah, you're just done. You're just so done. You can't get more done. So ready when you are is what I'm hearing. Like, ready when you are. Ready when you are. You're ready. You really are. And even if, financially, or you don't have another thing lined up, or you're going to figure these things out. So if it's kind of where you're wanting to line a different job up before you do leave the current one, then now would be the time. Just go ahead and try to, get your name out there, get the resumes out there, all the things to get that next thing lined up. Or if you're looking to retire, what are you waiting for? Like, that's what I'm hearing. It's like, if you're retiring, like, what are you waiting for? Come on in, the water's fine. Like, that's what I'm hearing. And then we have wisdom. Yeah, trusting your own wisdom, your own intuition. You've probably, done all your research and, do the things. Oh, yeah, a financial thing to get the bonus at the end of the year. Well, if that to you feels like the soonest you are wanting to leave because of that, then make it the end of the year. If it is that financial thing and it does mean enough to you financially, then I, of course, trust that wisdom, that intuition to get what's owed to you, because you definitely deserve what's owed to you. You've gone above and beyond at this job. Maybe not so much recently because you're just like, I'm done giving 140%. I'll be there if they need me. I'll do what I do. But you've kind of just reached that point where you're like, I'm done giving my blood, sweat, and tears to this place. I'm just ready to be done. done. Ready to be done. Anything else that Joy needs to know, especially about the financial aspect and just hanging in there just till that bonus to be done with that. Okay, well, we're seeing summer, and I'm pretty sure, summer technically ends around September 19th, 2021, somewhere in there where that fall equinox lays or lands. Which is funny because you were thinking, oh, September might be an option. So by the end of summer, it's almost like, even if you kind of lost out on that bonus, somehow, some way, for trusting that pull to be leaving this place and go in a new direction, you're going to be financially taken care of in ways that you can't really see coming. So that could be like a tax break next year that you didn't know you qualified for, or somehow, some way, because you've been at this place for so long, they give you like a severance package or like a bonus, or maybe just somehow they're like phasing out jobs or having to cut back on jobs, and you get a severance package before you're ready to go, or something, like some unexpected thing that's just kind of not even on your radar at all. Let's see if we can get more information on that unexpected way you're going to be taken care of financially, even if you did leave as early as summer or as early as September, when you're kind of trying to hang on for that bonus at the end of the year. What is this unexpected? Yeah, it's like there's a safety net ready to catch you when you fall. Yeah, I don't know. What is this though? Is the job ending and they're gonna pay Joy money, or what? 8 of Swords. It's like you feel stuck, or there's something you're not seeing about the situation. Yeah, there's something you're not seeing about the situation that when you just decide, no, I'm out, I'm leaving, that it's like the universe then conspires or lines up to like give you that severance package, or that thanks for being with us X amount of years bonus, or like it's something just not on your radar. Wow, that's good. Let's see. I'm going to go to the shamanic medicine cards, which is interesting. We haven't used these yet tonight, but I'm feeling the call. So let's see for joy. Amazing. All those things have come to mind. Yeah. And I think there's a reason they've come to mind. It's because your intuition's telling you, don't stay at this place out of fear or, well, I really want that financial bump at the end of the year by staying, but like it's draining my soul to even be here. It's like you can let that bonus or that end of the year thing go because the universe is somehow, or, your spirit is somehow going to bring that bonus and then some to you in a different way. Yeah, it's time. It really is. You're not thriving there. And in fact, you're just surviving. You're ready. I got chills on my crown as I pulled this card. Freedom. That song by George Michael. And birds. Birds might be very important messengers for you during this time. I'm hearing something about a sister and a bird. I don't know if that's relevant exactly to you or if there's a pair of sister birds that are, I don't know. It's interesting. Birds of all kinds. Birds of all feathers. Birds of all feathers. I'm seeing a barn owl. I'm seeing a falcon. I'm seeing maybe a crow. I'm seeing, now I've got a left ear really ringing. Really ringing. Ringing the bells of freedom. Isn't that what they do? Let freedom ring. Tomorrow is Independence Day. So you can maybe even have an extra special Independence Day tomorrow. Really examining that freedom that you're going to have once you're done with this job. Whether it's this summer or September or the end of the year. Of course, you're going to be the one in charge of when you jump into that, And I'm seeing it almost like the double Dutch jump ropes. It's like that makes it even harder. You're not just waiting for that one to come back around. There's two of them coming at you, bro, like this. I did not just call you bro. I'm sorry about that. My kids always say like, come at me, bro, or, just being funny. All right, what else? So that might be the thing, is just to bring some comedy into the whole thing, or just, lighten up a bit. Not that you're like, ugh, but like, just know that you're going to be taken care of. You don't have to worry too much about that money you're just kind of holding on for. It will come in. So just almost find the joy, find the, your name is joy, find the comedy, find the happiness about it. And maybe when you do finally make that choice to leave, things will actually kind of start feeling a bit enjoyable. Not enjoyable enough to stay at the job, mind you, but enjoyable enough that it doesn't feel like nails on a chalkboard to even just have to get in the car and go to work every day. Yeah. Because you have a different purpose calling you in a new direction. And even if the purpose is not exactly tied to your career, so to speak, or what you do for work, there's something about this just shift and letting this kind of dead weight of the energy of what this job makes you feel like now. Once you let that go, there's like, you're just in a happier place to where actual opportunities that really align with your sense of purpose. And it could even be travel. I don't know if you have some trips planned or somewhere you want to go. But it feels to me like after you do leave this job, there's going to be a very significant trip you're taking. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sacred site per se, but it could be something that's very sacred to you, that you're ready to kind of clean the slate with this trip after you end this job and then on to the next. Whatever that next is for you, I guess remains to be seen. But of course, if you already kind of have some ideas of what you want to do and the direction you want to go, of course, trust your intuition on all of that. But yeah, makes sense. I think I'll definitely let them know in September and see what happens. Right. Yes. That's awesome. All right, Joy. So any closing arguments, guidance, advice, encouragement, wisdom for Joy as she makes this decision to leave this job she's just over? All right. Make it your mission to accept all parts of you, the good and what you perceive to be your imperfections. Don't look for any outside validation. It's already within you. Once you realize your true beauty and potential, you will never doubt yourself again. And I think this really does correlate with the job that you're at. It's like you're just not feeling the love. You're not feeling the appreciation. You're not feeling like going above and beyond anymore because the energy exchange of you being there and what you get out of being there just isn't equating anymore. The math ain't mathin' anymore, and you're just ready to move on and go in a direction that feels like you can allow your true beauty to shine and allow that potential to really come through. And others, if you are getting another job or, whether you're retiring or getting a different job, it's like whoever it is you're around most of the time, they're really seeing that potential and actually honoring and respecting that potential that you have and almost like honoring or paying you what you're worth, whatever that looks like specifically. All right. So I feel like I need one more. Where are we going? One more for Joy. One more. Let's go to Nature's Whispers. All right. Anything else Joy needs to know? Yeah. Anything else? And we have amplify your positive emotions. Yeah. Again, just stepping into that energy of joy, happiness, feeling that buoyancy of how light you can feel when you kind of just let them know, hey, I'm checking on out. Come September, you're letting them know I'm checking on out. And you're almost just going to feel this weight lifted. And again, it's like you can find your wings to fly again. But in the interim, it's almost like you're supported. Your spirit and the universe are like going to catch you as you fall. And you're not going to have anything to really worry about. Even that financial burden of maybe not getting that bonus or what have you at the end of the year. Again, that's going to be somehow put in for you, whether it's through another job or the job that you're currently at or some completely other off the wall way that you just don't know, because it feels very surprising. Again, totally resonates. Need to be free and not worry. And it's like, of course we would all operate on a certain level if we just knew money was no object. We didn't have to worry what other people thought of us, all the things. If we could just operate in full, like, bliss mode, like, how cool would that be? I mean, I know it's almost unheard of or very unlikely for most people to do that because, bills are a very real thing. And being able to, have a secure future with being able to pay said bills is a very real thing. So I totally get it. But yeah, birth renewal is on the back of the deck here as well. So look at that. Yeah, you're ready. And again, another bird, like Phoenix rising from the ashes energy here, coming out of the egg, hatching out of the egg, new beginning. Lots of cool symbolism here. But yeah, birds are definitely messengers for you or giving you messages in some way, or just kind of, looking to the birds. I think you said something about the birds. Yeah, birds in your backyard. Yeah. Checking in late. Hope you're all doing well. Hi, Linda. Hope you're well as well. Happy early 4th of July. Independence Day. You had to step out and pack for a short family car trip we're doing tomorrow. All right. Well, we've reached that point in our live stream where we're going to do our giveaway and our drawing. So don't go away, you guys. I'm going to just put a couple of these cards away from Joy's reading, and then we're going to get into our giveaway. So if you're new here, you're a birder now after COVID. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. So birds just mean something to you already. So just ask them. Take it up a notch and ask the birds. What do I need to know? What do you have to tell me? And I'm sure you will start to get those downloads or intuitions about what the birds are trying to say to you. Because there's a message here. And it feels like sister birds. So to me, sister birds is like sister sight, sister, something to do with one, but it's not exact. It's like a sister to it. Something like that. Interesting. I don't know what the sister message is, but there it is. All right. So if you are new as far as all these drawings, our giveaway goes, all you have to do is determine what card I'm going to pull out of the tarot deck. So if you know your way around a tarot deck, or you at least know some of the cards within said tarot deck, it shouldn't be too difficult to realize there's birds on this card. What card am I holding? What card am I holding? You can just start ripping out guesses. Just guess all the cards or use your intuition, whatever it is. And if we're going and we're not getting it, oh, we got it. Linda, 5 of Wands. Look at all those birds going for the worms. The early bird gets the worm. Linda was on it. She was ready for that giveaway. Look at her go. 5 of Wands. Congratulations, Linda. And then everybody else, and of course also Linda, if you would like to be entered into the drawing, which goes in here, and look, these are all the past entries. So if you've ever entered a drawing on this channel, your name is still in here unless it's been drawn out at one point or another. And there's some of you have 10, 20, 30 names in here by now, I'm sure. Those of you that come around a lot, you're in here for sure a lot of times. So if you would like to be entered in here, we may pull your name out of here tonight, we may not. But if we don't pull your name out of here tonight and we put it in here tonight, it's still in here for a future live stream. And you don't even need to be present to win out of this. You do for the giveaway because you have to be the one, determining what card I pulled. But for the drawing, you don't even have to be here. all your homework would be is to check each live stream. You don't even have to watch the live stream. You just go to the top of the comment section, and if you see drawing winner with your name next to it, there will also be a timestamp, so you can go directly to your reading and you don't even have to watch the live stream. So I make it as easy as I can for you. If you are not present, you can still win the drawing. So let's get you entered into the drawing. Put a 777 down in the chat, and that will let me know you would like to be entered into the drawing. I call it the perpetual drawing because it's not just tonight's drawing. It's going to keep going until your name comes out of here or we stop doing this. Whatever comes first or whatever. Yes. So let's get everybody written down, and then I'll show you me putting your name in the pouch so we can verify that your name is in there, and then we will draw a winner. So here we go. Marlene is the first one I see. Marlene. Oops. Pen got a little squirrely on the end there, but that's okay. All right, next I see Linda H. And Linda, you can go ahead and post your question, and we'll get right into it after we enter everybody into the drawing. Okay. Kashfi. And we also have Amber 9 in. We also have Banana Anna S. Make sure I get all those N's in there. Lots of N's in the name. Banana Anna S. We also have Joy. Let's get Joy in there. All right. Here we go. Joy Ferguson. Spell it right. Ferguson. All right. Here we go. So, last chance. Anyone else wanting to be entered that hasn't put a 777 in the chat, now is your last call to do that. We got Joy going into the pouch. We've got Banana Anna S. We've got Amber 9 in. We've got Kashfi. We've got Linda H. And Marlene. Here we go. Okay, and Linda has her question. All right. I'm not looking, I swear. Here we go. And we have the Junking Data Girl, aka Cha-Cha. She's actually not here tonight, so I will leave a timestamp for her. So, this makes perfect sense, your question, Linda. My son is having a disappointing period, no job, call back. His apartment fell through. Oh no, trouble with girlfriend. How does July look for him? Oh no. Yeah, it's like lots of competition out there. I know this is kind of like inappropriate and random, but I heard it's hard out here for a pimp. There was a 90s rap song with that line. It's hard out here for a pimp. So I don't know if he listens to rap or something, but I heard that. But this is all about, the early bird gets the worm, and it felt to me like he was on time. Like he dotted all his I's, crossed all his T's, he did what he needed to do, and things still weren't working. Things still fell through. Things still are just not, they're, up in the air. Could even possibly be, especially on the job front, lots of competition going on. But let's tune further into this specifically for your son. How July looks for him, especially with the job situation, the apartment. Let's kind of just get a card for all three of those, because those all three feel like pretty major life stuff to just be going on. So let's get a card first and foremost for the apartment that fell through. Also, nose is itchy, so that's actually good luck. So something's going to change, something is going to shift. Now let's get a job. Yes, let's get a job. That'd be awesome. Not that he hasn't, for lack of trying. So it almost feels like the job is coming through now. So let's ask on the job. So we asked apartment first, then job. Now just like what's going on with the girlfriend, trouble with the girlfriend. Okay, so apartment, the card for the apartment, King of Swords. So this is about being able to sign a contract or have communication, being in clear communication, maybe even calling back with, or being able to call or do that research, do that knowledge. A lot of times you can search online with this communication card as well to find a new living situation or whatever's going on with that. But things are definitely going to be where he's feeling more in control, because the Kings are about feeling more a sense of stability and control. So he's definitely going to be feeling more control about the situation at some point in the near future. July specifically is what we're asking about. He's approved for the apartment, but his roommate dropped out. Oh, gotcha. So it's almost like the guy, maybe he didn't even communicate clearly for some reason. And then I don't know if he ghosted him. Did he ghost him or just kind of like flake out at the last minute? I don't know exactly what it was, but it's like, this is not what we agreed on. But now it's like your son is stepping up as kind of the authority here. Feeling more in control, though, definitely in the month of July. Yes, ghost. Yeah, that is so inappropriate. Like, just, you want to be a butt, at least let me know you're going to be a butt without leaving me with the bag, holding the bag, right? Like, it's just so rude. Ugh, people. Next was the job. Okay. Wow. Okay. So there's an opportunity coming in that he feels very emotionally connected to. So don't let him give up. If he's already got applications or interviews or whatever, have him keep calling people. This does feel like almost like the overarching energy of the reading itself is just to step back into this leadership role. Yes, it's okay to feel down and kind of kick the can down the road like, oh, things aren't going my way. It's okay to feel that way because, yes, there are times in life where it feels like not only one thing's going wrong, they're all going wrong. And yeah, that sucks. But at the same time, this is letting me know there's still a fighting chance here for him. And things definitely, like, something's going to be dropped into what he's already established here. So a job is going to be, maybe he's going to hear out of the blue about a job, or he's just asking again, like, hey, just calling back to see if anything's going on, or, whatever. And they may be like, oh, actually, we are about to start that process. So when's a good time for you? Let's get you on our calendar. It really is about communication, just being able to clearly communicate with all three things that we've kind of tuned into here: the job, whatever's going on with the apartment stuff, and then also the girlfriend. Last but not least, okay, so there's a reignition of a flame, a passion, a connection. So it's not like it's going to be over. Yeah, maybe there's some trouble going on, but this is not the end. There's actually a new beginning here. Being able, I think, again, to be able to communicate through any differences or trouble that's going on. And it does to me feel like a misunderstanding. It's not even a true issue. It's more a misunderstanding, or how one or the other of them handled the misunderstanding or the miscommunication, possibly. That it's like two people aren't really talking or freely talking, or they're kind of like, I'm going to hold my words, or maybe say too many words, or, whatever, because of something they thought the other one did or said or didn't do or should have done kind of vibe. It's not even that it's a true problem, or like this is something even worth throwing the whole thing away about. It does feel like there's we're still in it to win it. They broke up and talked through and got back together now. You are amazing. There's definitely carrying the flame of passion forward. And I got chills. So this does, to me, feel like a significant relationship. This isn't just a one-off girlfriend. This is someone who means a lot to him, and vice versa. He means a lot to her as well. They couldn't just, and they may even, end up as like long-term together, creating future generations. I mean, you can't ignore when this card's staring at you and you're talking about a love reading. This is about creating a life together. And I got chills. Okay. Yeah, they really do feel very connected. And at the very least, this is a long-term situation, even if they don't end up down this road. I mean, it's at least a potential for them. It does feel very like a deep connection here. So yeah, things are definitely looking up for him in the month of July. They're going to be much better than June and even May were for him. So just, let him know, just be very clear in your communication, and even communication to the universe or to his own spirit. Like, I'm ready for this job. Let me have a job. I'm ready. I am ready. But not marriage. Yeah. And that could be the case because, we all have choice points where we're like, maybe I'm going to go this other direction. Maybe a high level soulmate comes along that we're like, yeah, you're awesome and whatever. But your life just kind of takes you in a new road. And then you meet that high level soulmate. Like, you just never know. Yeah, I can totally feel he's ready for a job. He's like, I'm seeing, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing Dwight on The Office when, they're doing beach day because Michael thinks he's leaving not the company, but the branch to go to corporate. And he's like kind of making them go through all these paces and different games and situations to try to win his job. And Dwight does the coal walk. And then he's like down on his knees, like begging, like, give me the job. Give me the job. Like, I feel like he's so ready for a job that he's almost like on hands and knees, like begging, like, I want the job, whatever the job is. And at this point, he just might be like, I don't care what the job is, I want a job. Yeah, I love that episode. Yeah, and that's the episode where things really kind of, Pam was also able to speak her truth, and that kind of does feel like, where Jim is concerned, and them not even being friends anymore, and how, it hurts her because, we were good friends, and now we don't even talk. We're not even friends. So to me, that this feels very fitting for kind of where he's at. He's kind of feeling like the odd man out in a lot of areas of life. But in July, things are culminating. And it's interesting because at the end of that episode, Jim is like, hey, Pam, are you free for dinner? No, I don't know if it was that episode. It might have been the beginning of the next season, but it was very close within, like, piggybacking on that episode. The next episode, he's like, hey, you free for dinner? And then they just start dating because that's, wow. He was feeling down, nothing worked out for him. I felt bad for him. Yeah, and it's so hard because especially when it's your kids, it's like you want to take away all their pain, their disappointment, their everything. Like, I just want to find a job for you and get you hooked up and get you connected. But, like, sometimes this can be good for kids to feel that disappointment, feel that frustration, just let life put you through the paces. Sometimes it does build that rapport and that character with who you are. So, as mom, I can relate and I can empathize that you just want to fix it. You want to make it better. You want to get him that job. But it's okay to just kind of hold space and know that whatever's meant for him, he will be taken care of. And at the very least, if everything falls apart, he can always come back home to mama. Not that maybe that's what he wants or you want, but it's a potential. It's a potential. So he's never going to just be completely destitute, out on his own, homeless, or any of that. So if he can just keep that in perspective, that at least I'll never be homeless. As long as my mom's here, got my back, I should be okay. That kind of takes some of the burden and worry of the desperation of, I need the job, I want the job, to where that job will somehow get to him because that desperation kind of ceases a little bit or eases up to where it can flow to him. Yeah, my exact feelings. I need help. I want to take a step back because he needs to learn how things work out, right? How to work things out. And we are always here for him. Absolutely. Yeah. So I would just say, keep supporting him, keep, praying for him, or, whatever it is you do to send him that good energy. But definitely already July is looking much more looking up than what he's had going on. Yeah, I just saw lifeguard. I don't know if he's going swimming or applying for lifeguard jobs. I don't know why that just popped into my head. Maybe he just needs to go somewhere where there's a lifeguard on duty just to relax. Like we have a place here called Splash Montana with like water slides and stuff. That might be fun for him just to get out and just enjoy himself. Or maybe he's applying for a job at somewhere like that. I don't know what he's got going on, but yeah, something just to let his hair down, let loose, just enjoy things, even if he feels like the pressure of life, it happens. But don't forget to also take care of yourself and have fun, even when things don't feel like they're always 100% awesome. Yeah. All right. Big hugs to you, Linda, and your son. I'm hoping everything works out in all those areas for him. All right. Junking data, girl. So we're at 2:12:06. For the junking data, girl. I'll write it all out here. Okay. Cha-Cha, you won our drawing. We put your name in here, or maybe a few at this point. I'm sure there's a few of your names in here at this point, but your name was drawn out of our hat today, or our pouch, as we call it. So we're going to give you a free reading. Let's just see what Cha-Cha needs to know right now. At the time she's watching this reading, what does Cha-Cha need to know? And we have here brother. I don't know if you have a brother. If you don't have a brother, this could be someone who feels like a brother to you, maybe a close cousin or something. If you do have a brother, then of course this would be talking about him. If you have multiple brothers, this is the one that's closest to you in age. That's what I'm getting with that. The one you have, or possibly closest to you, meaning the one you have the better connection to or the deeper connection to. But for some reason, I'm hearing closest in age too. What does Cha-Cha need to know about this brother or brotherly type energy in her life? Gentleness. Well, yeah, this is a very gentle thing going on. Maybe even treating humanity like your brother. But what does this have to do with anything? I don't even know what this has to do with anything. Let's get some tarot in the mix to make sense of what's going on here. I don't know if you have a brother that's been struggling, and maybe you reaching out and saying, hey, what's up? How's it going? Would be like that pat on the back, or that like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like reaffirming the fact that someone has my back, someone's there for me, especially if he's having a hard time. And again, I don't even know if you have a brother, but this is what's coming out. So if you don't even have a brother, Cha-Cha, this is someone who feels like that brother. Like, could be a really good friend or something. Brother-in-law, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, judgment. But this is like family or found family. If it's not like blood family, this is family you found your way to as, friends that feel like family, or, by marriage, something like that. But this is about, I don't know if this brother had a wake-up call or a rude awakening of some kind. Maybe even possibly with his health. Could have even been a brother that passed away. Interesting, I'm getting that message. A brother that passed away. What is this? Six of Swords. Or a brother you're at a distance from. It's weird because it started out saying something about being the closest to. So I don't know if you had lost a brother, or maybe distance-wise. You're not close to him like distance-wise, but distance-wise. There's lots of ways I could interpret this. But there's healing with the connection or something going on with the brother, and especially if the brother had been having health issues or is having health issues. But I don't know why I got the random message that the brother could have been someone who passed away. I don't know. Only take what resonates here, Cha-Cha. This is interesting. Anything else Cha-Cha needs to know about this, or just anything else in general? Six of Wands, victory. So if you do have a brother that's got some health issues going on, he's going to overcome those battles, those health issues, health battles. I don't know if he has like a battle with cancer, or in the past had a battle with cancer. Even if he passed away and lost a battle to cancer, it feels to me like reclaiming that victory. Like, I'm still very much alive and healthy now. Or if your brother is just struggling in general with health issues, if he's still alive. Interesting. Closing argument. Cha-Cha. Ten of Cups, like close emotional. There's a lot of close connections here. So if you literally don't have a brother and none of what I've said even means anything, this is just people who feel like that brotherly love energy toward you, and really strengthening those connections, reaching out to them. If anyone in your life is having any kind of health issue, just letting them know, hey, I'm here to support you. I'm here for you. These can even be like internet friends that you feel very deep connections to, that don't necessarily have to be blood related or even a male, if we're going the brother route. So take any and all of those that resonate. If none of it resonates, my apologies. It was a very specific message. So you're going to have to let me know in the comments if you even have a brother, because that would be establishment number 1. Interesting. All right. Yeah. So that, my friends, I think, let me just double check. I think that's going to be it for our live stream tonight, but I will be back Friday evening. I normally go live at 11 a.m. Mountain Time on Fridays, but kids are home. My husband has that day off, so we're going to go to the library and just kind of maybe do some like things around town just to get out of the house a little bit, since we're not doing screen time this summer. So we need things to do. We need to go be busy and have some fun, So we're going to go do some of that on Friday. So I'm going to be live instead that evening. So yes. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to be it for me. I hope to see you Friday. And if not, I'll also, barring any kind of, change of plans or migraine or something, sometimes things shift or change, or I'm not live a day when I should be live because of migraine or whatever. But I try to be live Wednesdays at the regular time is 6 p.m. Mountain Time Wednesdays. And Fridays are kind of weird because it's summertime, and some of those Fridays will be 11 a.m. Mountain Time, just like a normal schedule. But this Friday will be 6 p.m. Mountain Time for Friday. So this week it's 6 p.m. across the board for my live streams this week. And then again, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time next week. So I will see you guys then. Thanks again so much. All those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. All right, you guys, much love. Peace, and have a happy Independence Day for those of you that celebrate or are in the U.S. And just a happy day for all the rest of you out there as well. Much love. You're so welcome, Linda. All right, bye, you guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye.